Like me, I was lost. Oh, the night I'm found. Six blood. Oh, now I see. Just praise that brought me safe this far, and praise shall lead me on. George deserves peace on earth and goodwill to everything and everybody on this one planet. And we'll never brothers. We love you. So long, so long, so long. Thank you. We love you, brothers. We love you. Remember, teaching children and teaching their children is all the one race, the human race. We will be on drums, Nick Daniels on bass, Eddie Prince on guitar, Terry Mannion on keyboards, every Cobb on keyboards. Art never, Joe never, ever never, Joe never. Peace.
Hey everybody, good evening, man. Good evening, man. Thank you so much for stopping in here, man. You got me and my bro George over here, man. We're just gonna sit here and we're gonna go over some of the bloodiest fights we've seen, man. Some of the bloodiest fights in recent memory, man. It's what boxing is all about, man. And first of all, man, I wanna just gracefully greet my brother George Jakovic, who stopped in to share some of these memories with us, man. George Jakovic's been with HBO for how long you been there, George? Exactly?
I was there for 15 years.
15 years, man. So I mean, I talk about my stories in the bar room. George talks about getting back there with the stars, you know, bro. I mean, we're graced with George here. Anyway, man, I know George doesn't want me to stroke him and get him all gushed up over here, but I'm grateful, and we're all grateful for George. And let's see who's out here tonight, man. Mr. Pads, good brother, Mr. Pads, always stopping in, man. Salute, Mr. Pads. My man Chen Smoke, man. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Thank you. Remy, always showing love and support over here, Remy.
Remy.
Thank you, bro. Chain with Ice, man. Another great brother coming in here. Slide Encounter. Appreciate it, man. Rodolfo Rivera, thank you, man. Thank you. Cano Loco. Salute, my brother. Salute. Reese Bra. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming in. John McSmith, my brother. Salute. Mr. Shelton, my man. Thank you for coming in, man. Michael Johnson. They're all coming in tonight. My boy W. Rightside. Thanks for coming in here. Ragi Nashi. Oh, that's a troll. Somebody bop him out. I guess you already did get him, bro. You guys are good over here, man. Let's see who anybody else sneak in here. Scrapbook, my brother, man. Thank you for coming in, man. We're gonna have to watch our P's and Q's here, George, because we got the real fact checker out there.
I
man.
love it. Con Shawnery.
I love it myself, man. I love it myself. Xavier, the boxing nerd, man. Young man who lives boxing, bro. Salute to my brother Xavier. Karma Serene, sister, thank you for coming in here. Derek Clark, bang in the bag. Thanks for coming in, brother. Thomas Jones, man, always showing support. Peace to you. Con Shawnery, wouldn't be the same without you in here, my brother. Thank you for coming in, man. Thank you for coming in. Let me I haven't had a toke here, man, because I got a nice little special I'm enjoying for this little evening here, man. All my brothers out there. You know Bruce Goes over here, man. Legal card carrying marijuana smoker, marijuana patient for the state of Rhode Island. Not always smoking it. Sometimes I eat it. Sometimes I draw. However it's presented to me, we always find a way to enjoy it. But anyway, man, we'll give us some elbow room over here, George. We're getting a little too close there. I don't want them talking about us online over here, bro.
Oh man, I can't wait. I love the fights that you picked out. There's some good ones, and Tuesday Night Fights is back. Tuesday Night Fights is back.
Yeah. Somebody called me on that one. They said, "Man, Tuesday Night Fights, they're all copywritten now. You can't show Tuesday Night Fights." I said, "I'm not going to show Tuesday Night Fights. It's Tuesday night, man. And Tuesday nights is all right for fighting. And me and my brother George are over here, and we got a bunch of good people in the family, man. We're gonna just show you some of the bloodiest fights we remember, and it just so happens to be Tuesday night. And the first one I'm gonna show you is Mr. Tuesday Night himself, man, Sean O'Grady, the bubblegum kid, the bubblegum bomber, whatever they used to call him. He used to come in the ring chewing bubblegum, and I mean, Sean was bro. How many fights did you say he had in his career?
Well, I know that when the fight we're doing is when he fought Jim Watt for the lightweight title. Going into that fight, he was 73-1. Sean O'Grady. He ended up with over 80 fights in his career, but he was 73-1 going into his title shot against lightweight champ Jim Watt. He had 74 fights.
Really digest that a little bit in today's boxing world. And how old was Sean when he went to that fight? He was a young man.
I believe he was in his early to mid 20s. He was a young guy.
He truly was. I'm gonna see if I can find that fight, that awesome fight. And he went, there's some background in that fight too, bro. I remember watching that fight. I'm not sure if that was on Halloween evening. It was right around that time. It was right around the fall time. And I know Sean O'Grady went there. He didn't get much advance for the fight. He only went there on, I think, 4 weeks notice. And he said he was supposed to get a first class hotel. He ended up with a 3-star hotel. He said it was rough. There were death threats made to him. Ireland, tough part of the country. And Sean being Irish and I guess being in Scotland, his family received death threats, and they had to be escorts to the fight. And he said his mind was messed up. And I mean, I watched the fight on television the night that it showed up, and I was riding with Sean O'Grady. Like I said, he was a star of Saturday afternoons, and he bled for his money, man. I saw him fight a guy named Shik Fukuyama, and bro, this was just they were both cut, both bleeding. I think they stopped it in the 5th round or so, but
you're exactly right. 5th round, Shik Fukuyama, 5th round stoppage. Sean O'Grady won. That was June 10th, 1978.
78. Yep, that was a great year for me. The blizzard of '78. In fact, we just did our 44th. We did our Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks last
That's right,
week.
78. Yeah.
The great blizzard of '78. Excuse me for a minute. I gotta blow my nose. Make sure I don't go through that handkerchief with that dollar store Kleenex that I'm using. But man, yes. So many good memories from the man, from Sean O'Grady. Let's see if I can use the magic of my and Jim Watt's another one. Jim Watt was I mean he had beaten some good fighters, man. Before this, he beat Howard Davis Jr.
The fight before this, he beat Howard Davis, and Howard Davis was the favorite going into that fight. Olympic gold medalist. He was the boxer of the games in '76, and I think everyone expected Howard Davis to win that fight.
Yes. Salute Felix Nunez. Thank you, brother. I don't know why I can't pronounce your name, bro. I'm gonna stand in front of the mirror and say that 1,000 times and see if Nunez. Just have to. So, because in my part of the state, Nunes is a Portuguese name, and there's so many Nunes. My best friend Tony Nunes. I mean, there's just so many Nunes around here, man. It's like and Nunez. Nunez. I just have to slow down, bro. I'm a hyper cat, man. I'm always in overdrive. I think I gotta smoke more weed, George. Hey, let me shout out. I'm sorry, bro. Let me shout out Tay Brown stopped in. Tay MA Combat Entertainment, man. Sub to everybody that comes in here. My brother 150, man. Always great to see you, bro. I see you all the time. I wanted to hop on your show today, bro. I was just so busy. So much stuff I had to do. And man, I'm always listening. I appreciate you coming over to here, bro. And man, you know, I really want to keep looking on at the comments, because I missed a couple of last show I did, and there were some good ones, man. I was pissed. Ashley's Corner, salute. You know how you go back, you look at your shows, and you say, man, I should have. I wish I had seen that one, but I just have to keep my eyeballs focused on the comments. And like I said earlier,
we get caught up. We get caught up in the fights, you know. That happens.
Don't we?
Hey, Bruce. So Sean O'Grady, he was 73-1, and I know you know this, but his only loss going into that fight was against Danny Little Red Lopez.
Yep.
That was the only
early
fight
in his
he had
career.
lost. Yep.
And that's when Sean went. He stepped out of Oklahoma. Law's Punch Out. Salute my brother. Ashley's Corner. I think I shouted you out, Ashley. I'm sorry if I'm doing it twice, man. Like I said, this memory of mine, man, George. You don't mind if I take a couple of hits before this fight starts, do you, bro?
Of course not. Come on.
I don't want to be
the Bruce Gold show.
My gracious co-host over here. In fact, you know, it's almost like we're a duo. You're the fact man over here, and I guess I'm the color guy. But you know, we seem to hit it off.
I'll take that.
I'll take that too, bro. I'll take that too, man.
So Jim Watt fought in succession. He fought Howard Davis. He was an underdog. He beat him. He fought Sean O'Grady, and then the last fight of Jim Watt's career was against the great Alexis Arguello, when Arguello won the lightweight title. And Jim Watt never fought again after that. Retired, and you never heard of him since. But he was he beat some good fighters, man. You know, the three that
you just mentioned, bro. Howard
that was
Davis,
3 in a row, right there.
Sean and Alexis Arguello. Man, if that's not close to murderer's row, bro. I mean, that
is a solid trio right there.
There's no cherry picks there. You know what I'm saying, man? It's like, right. You know, I don't even think that word was invented back in the 70s.
Right. Well, definitely not for him, because I'm sure he was an underdog in all 3 of those fights, Jim Watt, even though I think that all of them they were all O'Grady and Davis were in Scotland, and the Arguello fight was in Wembley. So
yeah, he didn't like to leave his home turf.
Well, you know what? Back then he was the champion. So
true.
Why should he leave home?
Well, Alexis Arguello went over there and sorted that. But anyway, man, anybody 370s, thanks for coming in. Law's Punch Out. Did I shout you out already, bro? Man, I'm sure I did, man. Law's is my brother, man. Law's from over the sea, bro. Great man from the United Kingdom, man. Let's see where this fight takes us, George.
I've never seen this whole fight. I've seen clips of it. Hey, that guy Sean O'Grady looks like Larry Holmes.
No, yeah,
Sean O'Grady looks just like Larry Holmes.
Wait a minute.
There we go. I thought I was on the wrong show for a second.
They was tricking me by sticking Larry in there. Here's the first round now, man. Sean O'Grady in the green trunks, Jim Watt blue trunks with white stripes. It looks like on my screen.
Yeah, Jim Watt was a southpaw.
Yep. Stand-up boxers. I mean, obviously Jim Watt with that classic European style. Sean Grady, very experienced boxer slugger. His father wanted to make more of a boxer out of him, but Sean liked to get in there and mix it up. Trick Nolte's in here, man. Salute to Trick Nolte, man. I saw you a second ago, and damn, I don't know why we were talking about you earlier, bro. You know you're gonna be up here within a week or so, bro. George. 88 Sports, bro. Salute to you, my brother. Thank you for coming in. We're watching Sean Grady. We're watching some of the bloodiest fights that we can recall over here. And these two guys, paper thin skin, obviously, man. But I mean, let's watch the action because I'm pretty sure. I know it was on a Friday night, and it was either this fight or the Aguayo fight was Halloween night.
Well, this fight was November 1st, 1980. I'm not sure if over there, so it might have been Halloween in America with the time difference.
Yeah, I kind of remember. Right. I kind of remember having candy out there and saying, "I hope nobody knocks at the door." But you can see Sean O'Grady seems to be in charge in the beginning of this fight. Watch bouncing up, classic European style. Sean O'Grady circling around, trying to get on that out. Circling to his left. Trying to stay away from that left jab of Jim Watts, but O'Grady never want to back off in a fight, man. Always like to mix it up.
So I don't remember when it happens, but I know at some point it was a headbutt, I believe.
Oh, tremendous headbutt. Gil Coles, bro. Thanks for coming in here, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Jim Watt was an underrated fighter. I mean, just the fact that he beat O'Grady and Davis back to back, and Arguello, Arguello won the fight, but Watt hung tough, 15 rounds.
Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. He was an extremely durable fighter. I mean, just to go through the last three, and who did he win his title from?
Looks like he won it from Alfredo Pitula. It was for the vacant belt. So
yep, that was when Roberto Duran vacated.
Right. And, yeah. Vacant. Yep. They split. So it was the vacant WBC belt. Watt won that in '79. Defended it. This was his fourth defense of his WBC lightweight title. Okay. Because I remember the WBA tournament. That's one that sticks out in my head with bro. Now I'm getting mixed up with the names, but Claude Noel and I remember Claude Noel.
He got Ernesto Espana gave him a left hook from hell and knocked him out in the elimination fight. Yeah, there was some great lightweights back then. But I mean, this fight's moving right along. Sean O'Grady seems to be the aggressor. Seems to be throwing more jabs. But it's definitely a battle of the jabs. They feel each other out. Kui, thanks for coming and salute, Queen. Kui. Yeah, Sean O'Grady, long time. He was a long time analyst on USA. Oh yeah, man, he was for a long time. Tuesday night fights, and I was looking back at some pictures of him. He still looks good today. He still looks like a kid. Mm-hmm. He's got to be in his 60s. Yeah, it has to be. For sure. Well, like most of us OGs are up here. Salute Omega Red, man. Thanks for coming in, brother. Don't forget, press that like button. I appreciate people coming in, and I hear everybody saying press that like button. I guess it has something to do with algorithms or whatever the word may be, but I appreciate what you do, man. I appreciate you coming in. I press the like button. Man. Everyone hit that like button. Yeah. Or the dislike button. Whatever it may be. Just show me you were here, bro. I appreciate it. And the Toker too appreciates it, man. We're smoking some nice prepared tonight. Who could dislike Tuesday night fights with Bruce Goes? Come on. And George Jakovic over here, bro. Don't leave yourself out. You're my headliner here.
You know, when I first started to learn about boxing and southpaws and when they fought orthodox fighters, I remember one of the first fights I saw, I heard the announcers talking about their feet and the placement of their feet and how they often stepped on each other's feet. So whenever a southpaw and an orthodox fight, I always glance down at their feet and see what the positioning is and see if someone's stepping on their feet. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
More often than not. More often than not. You don't see these guys getting their feet tangled up too much.
No.
O'Grady is really he's looking for the body shots. You can tell Jim Watt is stand up. He's just doing his straight thing, throwing that right jab, looking to drop a left hand in there. And Sean O'Grady's I like that head movement on Sean O'Grady. He's really, really a talented kid, man. Really, really a talented boxer. Just all the experience that he has, even though it was with, probably his cousins half the fights. But just having that in-ring experience and to handle the situation that he's in, death threats to his family in a country, treated shabbily. We all know, we've heard many stories about that in boxing. And Sean right here, that's the epitome of it here, man. And, you're in the spotlight. D-Ray, my brother, man, thanks for coming.
Boy, looking at Sean O'Grady's record,
see
not a lot of
there,
known fighters.
Trick just he's going to call Sean O'Grady. Hit him up next time so we can have him on.
Hey, let's do it. But we'll have to put the Sean O'Grady fight on that he wins in respect to him.
Yeah. We're not going to put this fight on. We're going to put maybe the Helmut Henty fight, something like that. Andrew Charles, bro, thanks for coming in. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to miss anybody who came in here because I know I come in places. Jedi, Reanime Studios, man. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate the shouts out, so I try to catch everybody, and I sincerely mean it, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Anybody that stops in here on a Tuesday night to see me and George, a couple of freaking ham and eggers. I was hoping my brother Mad Chad would stop in and call these with us, but Mad Chad busted a couple of ribs, man. So say a prayer for him. He's in some serious pain. So shout out to my man Mad Chad. He was going to try to stop in. His son's playing basketball now. He's in NCAA. The second division, awesome basketball player. So shout out to my brother Mad Chad out there. Uncle Phil, thanks for coming in, man. Yeah, looks like Jim Watt is trying to get Sean O'Grady in the corner. Sean O'Grady, early in the fight, and I know fatigue hasn't set in, but he doesn't seem like he's moving around as much as he was. Maybe he's get some offense on his head. But Sean O'Grady, tough kid. Jim Watt, the champion on his home turf. This has all the elements for a great fight, and it did, bro. So it's like deja vu all over again with my brother George Jakovic over here, man. Thanks everybody for filing in. I appreciate it so much, bro. I really do, man. Maybe I sound sloppy for keep saying it, but I can't stop saying it. It amazes me.
This isn't one of our fights.
On YouTube for forever. I opened up a channel last November, and man, I'm gracious enough to be subbed by almost over 400 people, and having over 20 people come in on a live just like that, bro. Man, thank you so much, man. I wish I could pass this Toker out to you guys because I'm smoking some good Purple Haze, enjoying this evening, man, and I wouldn't be possible without everybody out there, man. So salute, man, salute.
So this Friday, it will be 58 years since Cassius Clay became heavyweight champion of the world and beat Sonny Liston. So we talked on the last show about all the historic fights that happened in February. That's one of the big ones right there, Cassius Clay stopping Sonny Liston. So this Friday, 58 years since that fight.
I was too young to remember the fight, but I caught the 25th anniversary. NBC put it out. I was always a fan of the fight, but Marv Albert.
I remember that.
Oh, bro.
I taped it on VHS tape. I taped that.
That happened to be at a low point in my life. I lost a job. I had, my family was in shambles, and that just kind of, man, it like pulled me together. I love Muhammad Ali. I'm a tribal Muhammad Ali fanboy, bro. I mean, I'm as bad as any of the Deontay Wilder fanboys today. You couldn't say anything about Ali after the 73, 74, and all the way up till the day that he died, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Amazing though. 58 years since that fight.
Oh,
And that's
amazing. And that was the outset of the magnitude of the fight we were talking about last week, man. The Douglas and Tyson. Anybody who remembers that one, man. Muhammad Ali, the brash kid from Kentucky, but fighting the invincible Sonny Liston. Friday night, man. Oh, somebody's gonna do something there. I think my bro Stormy B's doing a show that night for an anniversary for that fight. But if I don't see anything going, man, I'll just turn on my freaking start the broadcast and talk about that fight to honor the great Muhammad Ali that night. And even Sonny Liston, man. Sonny Liston, shout out to him, man. You know, he cut the raw end of the stick, bro. You know?
I talked to Randy Gordon last night, and that's one of the things that we talked about, that Liston Clay fight. And Randy Gordon was 15 years old when they fought. He didn't see the closed circuit because he was in high school. His parents wouldn't let him go see it. So back then they had fights on the radio. So he listened to the radio. He was a big Cassius Clay fan, and he actually heard the fight as it happened on the radio.
Wow. That was I can remember I did the same thing. It was with Joe Frazier when he beat Jimmy Ellis. You remember that little
Mm-hmm.
And it was on the radio. I was in high school, I believe, man. You know, probably the same age as Randy Gordon was for the Clay Liston fight, and it wasn't even shown on regular television. It was only available on closed circuit.
Right.
And it was, I think, the last time in history that they did a heavyweight championship fight on the radio. And I remember listening to that and, you know, hearing about Joe for the 4th round knockout and that left hook. Joe was a myth. Everybody said, "Oh, this kid from Philadelphia, what a left hook, man! He's beating everybody." And you catch him occasionally on an ABC Wide World, but I was mostly getting stuff from. Oh, somebody's back here, man. Somebody that I invited over here. My boy G5 Gabe, man. My brother G5 Gabe. I'm sorry I didn't see you earlier, G5, man. Salute my Texas brother.
G5.
You know it. No.
Mobile. I see G5
I'll be on
on
mute for about 5 more
I don't know how you do that.
Huh?
I see you behind the wheel
Over there,
doing your
Bruce.
runs, man. I'm like, that's amazing. It's either
Yeah.
crazy, it's either I'm just too nervous to even comprehend doing that. But man, I admire you guys that do that. But then again, I wouldn't want to be on the same road with you, bro.
Man, I'm really multitasking. I'm driving. I'm headed to take my kids to their mother. And look, her tablet's right here. And I have her doing her own.
There you go.
Like, hey, man. Hey. I'm always doing something, man. Always.
Multitasking.
At all hours of the day and night. G5, we're watching some bloody fights tonight. Some of the bleeders that we've seen throughout our illustrious career as boxing fans over here, man. The first one is Mr. Tonight, Sean O'Grady. He went over to Scotland. He fought the champion of the world, Jim Watt, for the title. And man, you want to see some blood, bro? This is the kind of blood you see in a Texas fast draw fight. This is blood by the, some fights. I remember reading a Ring magazine and it was talking about the bloodiest fights in history. And it said by the pint, by the quart, and by the gallon. I think we classify this fight as by the gallon when it gets on, bro.
So it doesn't look like he's cut yet.
Not yet.
Although this isn't the best, I guess this is probably the best quality we could find for.
Yeah, I looked around. In fact, this I got this from Facebook. But the thing about blood is you don't have to have a really high definition screen to see it.
I know. Once he's cut, we'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah, even if it looks like a little shadow, sometimes even on color, you just see a little black spot on his face, and it gets bigger, and all of a sudden you start to see it'll turn purple and start dripping, and bro, we've seen some fights. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. You remember that Crimson Mask?
Oh my God, yes, that was their first fight. That blood. I mean, he bled the second fight too. Chavez
No.
bled both fights, but that first fight was wicked.
Wicked. In fact, I think the word was that he came into the fight with a cut, and someone said that he put mascara on it so it wouldn't show.
Well, that didn't help him too much.
Okay,
So
so that might have been the headbutt, man. John McSmith was watching it. I didn't. I took my eyes off that. So that could have possibly been the headbutt right there. But anyway, I'm sure we're going to see it because this is not like you think that was a cut. You think that was a cut. You ever see the movie Carrie when they pull that bucket at the gymnasium?
Uh-huh.
Or something out of the WWE chain match series.
Con Shawnery says the footage is a little stuttery. Yes, it is. Does Watt ever move his head? Says John McSmith. He was straight up. He was straight up and down. Straight up European style. Not much head movement.
No, exactly.
1-2s.
So Sean O'Grady is trying to, he's trying to be unorthodox. He's trying to rough him up a little bit, get him out of his game plan. He's sticking with his classic skills because he's got great boxing skills, but he's trying to break Jim Watt out of that shell that he's in. He's got that really, really hard to get through defense with that, keeping that left up there, that right up there at all times, covering that face. And Sean's trying to rough him up. Sean's trying to make a fight out of this, which he will shortly, man. Like Dusty Rhodes, you know that, Sean. Use that razor blade on a sweaty head.
So, I read a little bit about this fight, and some articles said that Sean O'Grady was outboxing Watt, and he was up big on the fight before they stopped it on cuts. But on the cards, when they stopped it, he was down on one card by 4 points, two cards by 4 points, and he was down by a point on another card. So they stopped it in the 12th.
Home cooking.
Judges, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Because
judges,
I remember watching
back
fight
then.
live. No, I was
And
just
you
going to
thought
say I
O'Grady
remember
was
watching
winning
it
the fight?
live, and I had O'Grady. I thought we were going to see an upset. Like I stated earlier, I watched Sean O'Grady. He was on a lot of CBS fights, a lot of Wide World of Sports. So you get to know Sean O'Grady. He had a bubbling personality, chewing the bubble gum. I mean, it was you're watching this kid and you're saying, "Damn, I look older than he does," and I'm only in high school, and he's out winning national championships, and I mean he eventually won a world title. He never defended the world title, but anyway, man, one of the best welterweights in that period where the mid to late 70s that was just stuck full of great on par lightweight fighters. It was the title could change hands in any fight in this division. People like Edwin Rosario, Camacho was a lightweight. Oh man, I think Vinny Paz. No, I don't think Paz had started yet. But there were so many of them. Livingston Bramble, Ray Mancini. I mean, man, there was
Arguello, Jose Luis Ramirez. There was a lot of in the 80s. There was a lot of talent, and the title after Arguello gave it up and moved up to 140, it really bounced around a lot. Those titles, those two titles, WBA, WBC, they bounced around a lot.
They did. What's the Ray Boom Boom Mancini? He was the darling of CBS Sports Spectacular. They they groomed him for the fight with Aguayo, and you know, with the champagne in the locker room and everything. And Aguayo came in and just, I mean, beat up Mancini. It was a great fight. That's a fight you could show today. Talk about a face that looked like a catcher's mitt somebody took an ice pick to after the fight. But part of this great lightweight heritage of the early '80s, late '70s.
Yeah, I remember watching that Mancini Arguello fight, and Mancini he was only 21 or 22. He was young. He was not ready for Arguello, but he gave a good account of himself. He fought tough, but look, Alexis Arguello is a Hall of Fame great fighter, and he was just too much for Mancini.
Yeah, he was. But you know, it's, you know, we were talking about how the title was passed around after, even when Mancini had it. When Aguayo had it after this fight, Mancini won that WBA title. That fight against Arturo Frias.
Right, that 1 round crazy fight.
That 1 round war. I remember having that on VCR. I used to play that for people. I said, check this fight out. You want to see Boom Boom Mancini? Oh, he's going to get knocked out. No, he's not. And all good memories.
Ooh.
And Livingston Bramble, man, he shot in. He came in like a nuclear bomb when he defeated Mancini, and then when he got beat by Rosario, it was like.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Mancini twice, and Bramble looked like he was going to dominate the division, and then Rosario just beat him, and Bramble, he fought on and on and on. I think Bramble, last time I haven't seen him. I don't know what Bramble's up to.
I bet Trick Nolte knows where he is.
Trick Nolte's probably
he's probably smoking the good stuff in Jamaica, man.
Oh, yeah.
Used to have
Sliding
that
counter.
boa constrictor around his neck.
Sliding counter says Rosario punched very hard. He sure did.
Oh, he sure did, man. He changed the career of Ray Boom Boom Mancini with one left hook.
Oh, Hector Camacho.
I'm sorry. Thanks for correcting me, bro.
Yeah,
I would look back at my playback and said, did I say Ray Boom Boom Mancini when my head was saying Hector Macho Camacho?
That was Madison Square Garden. That was HBO. That was in, I think, 86.
Yes, and what was the undercard there? I think it was Cornelius Edwards. Both Edwards was on the undercard, and he fought somebody really, really good. You know, it was a real good fight too, if I recall. But yeah. Oh, that fight right there, man. Mancini and Rosario. One for the memories.
A great fight from the 80s is a lightweight fight. Edwin Rosario, his rematch against Jose Luis Ramirez. Rosario knocked Ramirez down a few times in the first couple rounds, and Ramirez came back. I think it was the 4th round, came back and knocked Rosario out. There were some great fights on free TV. And John McSmith, I remember when Arguello knocked out Kevin Rooney.
Yeah, that's when Arguello moved up to 140. That was after the prior fight. Was that before or after the prior fight?
I think it was the fight before. I can check, but I think that it was the fight before he fought prior.
And I remember that right hand that Arguello had. It was like a bazooka. Oh, yeah. Classic stand-up style, and then boom. Quickly was 6 years old in 1986. I was, I don't know, 30-something.
I was 16.
At the end of 86, 35 in 86. I was styling and profiling, if I recall, man. I just divorced my wife. She divorced me, actually. But I was having a great time, man. I was living by myself. I had a good job. I had a good car. I had money in my pocket. And that's the 86, man. That's when I saw Vinny Paz, I believe. That was the first time I saw him at the Providence Civic Center against Joe Frazier Jr. Joe Frazier in the ring. So I actually saw Joe Frazier and I saw Muhammad Ali in the same building, 5 years apart. But hey, and neither one was in a real fight. It was an exhibition, and Joe Frazier was in there with his son. So hey,
listen. Hey, Bruce, I think for these fights, you should, you had some pictures up before the fight started, some bloody shots of fighters. Whatever the fight is that we're about to see, it should be mandatory that you have a picture of you from that year. I know you said you can't find some of your pictures, but
Uh,
come on, like there should be a picture of you from this fight was in 1980. You should have led off with a picture of you from 19. That's how we should lead into each of these fights. A picture of Bruce Goes before how he was before each fight.
let me
That's
see
my
if I
vote.
can. Let me see if I can find this picture that somebody showed me today. Honestly, today's the first day I saw this picture. I'm going to see if I can find it over here.
Okay, I'm off duty now. Yeah. We good now.
G5 is back. You're off daddy duty
Yeah.
temporarily.
Oh yeah, until tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, look. All right, Bruce. Are we supposed to guess which one is you? My guess is you're in the right-hand corner in the back, or you're the kid with his mouth open like Cassius Clay.
No, I'm the one that's way in the back.
That's what that was my first on the right, in the white shirt.
Yeah. Yep. On the right for sure. That's me, bro. That's my mom, my pops, my
right.
4 brothers, my little sister's in my mom's belly at the time. But
that's cool.
Somebody showed me that on Facebook today, man. I said, shit. I didn't even know that picture ever existed.
Man, you got some fans that have your family photos, huh? Sounds like a little bit of a stalking situation.
No, it was my brother who had it.
Okay.
So, no, don't stalk me, man. I'm going to disappoint you if you do. Reggie Owens, my brother. Salute, man.
It doesn't look like O'Grady's bleeding yet.
Somebody whack that troll out of here, bro.
Who's a troll? Which one's a troll?
That BFTB guy out there, man. We don't need that shit in here, man. Reggie Owens, salute, man. Teach. Thanks for coming in, bro. I tell you get hit with people like that on the internet. There's a lot of jerks out there, but I give my people out there wrenches so they can whack them. I'm not looking at YouTube right now. I'm just looking at StreamYard, so I can't see anybody that I've given a wrench to or not. But they know what to do, man. And then there's another one out there, the Umagino Sidwell. I don't know what that's all about, but they keep dropping these crazy links in here. Anyway, man, there's got to be some crimson going on here. Yeah, shut that shit out of here, bro. You know it, Reggie. You know it, bro. And I don't have dislikes from anybody on the internet, man. Everybody's welcome in here. Everybody comes in here with a clean slate, the way I look at it, bro. Everybody's welcome. If you're a smoker, you're welcome over here, man. Even if you're not.
What? So it looks like Watts got a cut over his right eye.
Oh yeah, Watts had a big cut in here. Watts was saved in this fight. Watts got a gift, man. This is good shit, man.
Because O'Grady's not cut yet. I mean,
no,
it's not the massive
O'Grady
cut.
should have won this fight. They should have stopped this fight. Watts was bleeding more than O'Grady was. Check it out, man. Look at they're already stopping to look at Jim Watts' face. Look at that, bro.
Wow.
Oh, this is what we're here for, ladies and gentlemen. Wiping it down. Now, when does a corner wipe a face down like that between rounds? Usually the doctor checks it. The doctor will take out his swab, wipe it down, but the corner doesn't come in. They don't get to put pressure on a cut like that, and the fight continues. That's bullshit, George.
Well, this is 1980 over in Glasgow, so anything goes.
But it's a WBC. WBC should step in there. They have full authority over here.
When do the sanctioning bodies ever do anything good? Never.
I'm just saying.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
I mean, I've never seen this in my life where they can repair a cut and then the fight continues. No, yeah, exactly, John McSmith. O'Grady's trying to pepper that cut. O'Grady's a veteran, bro. I don't care how young he is. O'Grady's got more fights under his belt than most active fighters. Look at that, man. He's got Jim Watt hurt. He's nailing Jim Watt. Look at Jim Watt's
Sean
holding in
O'Grady.
Jim Watt's.
Sean O'Grady in the
the
green
referee
shorts
tried
and
to.
Jim Watt in the blue.
Oh, yeah. Jim Watt in the blue with the red stripe on the side of his head. And Sean O'Grady's moving in. Sean O'Grady is pressuring Jim Watt, putting the pressure on him. Nice stuff, Sean.
Yeah, that's a bad cut.
That's where the blood's running in the eye. When Rocky said to Mick cut him, that was because there was such a big bruise. The blood was all swollen up in there, and it was closing Rocky's eye. And he said to Mick, "Cut it, Mick," because I can't, Rock. He said, "Cut it," and that's what he did. He cut that big blister open so the blood flowed down, and Rocky could see that last round. So, bro, I want to see one of these guys say, cut me, McTavish, cut me."
They didn't have to worry about that because that blood was flowing already in these fights.
Fact.
So there was no bubble that had to be cut. That blood was flowing
Hey,
freely.
man, somebody get that fucking guy out of here, man. One of you guys.
How do you get rid of people?
I don't know, bro. I can't go on the other. I can't switch my screen and go on YouTube. But my ranches will better.
Well,
yeah, some of these trolls there.
Hey, Bruce. Well, we see it after they probably already blocked. Like we'll see it later, but they might be already got slapped in the chat. You know, I noticed that when I'm on a live and we can see it, but they might be blocked, but we still can see them because we're on the panel. But they already gone in the chat.
I think they make new accounts, G5. I think they make new accounts and come back. You know, these guys are so savvy with YouTube.
Yeah, what I'm saying, even if they make another account, we're not gonna see that they're being blocked unless you personally do it on our screen.
Okay,
but
bro.
the chat, they'll already be gone. Mm-hmm.
I'll go in after and I'll do whatever the fuck YouTube lets me do. But you guys smack them here and just block them in here. Anybody with a wrench has the power to do that, man.
And folks, we're hearing an angry Bruce Goes. This is an angry Bruce Goes. You do not want to get Bruce Goes mad.
Fucking internet shit does not make me angry, bro. No, not having any weed might make me a little bit anxious, but anger, there ain't nothing on here that can make me angry. You know, it makes me angry right now. The Russians are invading fucking Krems, but bro, aside from that, what can anger me now? And even that, I know so little about it. We're later in the fight here. 1:30 into what round? Does anyone know?
I think it's the 9th or 10th.
Okay, man, the 9th or 10th round, and this is a 15-round fight. I see O'Grady going nice to the body over here too, and Jim Watt is the bleeding under control?
Looks like it is.
Yeah, we haven't seen the referee. Oh, he's going on the ref. See, that referee is trying to get in the action. He's not needed. He's really trying to get involved in this fight. But he's staying too far back because he doesn't want to get hit with a stray punch. He's no fool. But you can see whenever they get in a clinch, he wants to break them fast. Even though their arms are still free and they're still throwing punches.
This is the most jittery fight I've ever seen in my life.
Jim, the headbutt. Uncle Phil, you be nice out there. We'll ban you. I know you come back again as something else, but behave yourself out there. Oh, here we go. Oh!
Yeah, that's it. You could see
that
it.
Was a headbutt and a dirty punch after that.
So, what were the rules back then? Because when there's a headbutt, I guess the rules were different then, and even if it was an accidental headbutt, if the fight was stopped, you just lose. It doesn't go to the scorecards.
Usually, if it's before the fourth round, it goes to the scorecards. Oh, see, if it's unintentional headbutt,
But in
then the fight
1980,
stopped. But if it's an intentional headbutt, you can be disqualified. In fact, and if I know the low blow rule, you're given up to 5 minutes to recover, and if you don't recover, you lose the fight on an unintentional low blow. So, look at the blood coming out of O'Grady already. The fight just started, and this cut required 11 stitches to close. That's one thing I do remember.
well, they did not go to the scorecards because it was a TKO for Watt.
Oh yeah, it's coming up, man. It's coming up. It was a robbery. I thought O'Grady. Like I stated earlier, I was watching this whole fight, and I thought O'Grady was going to walk away with the title. And I saw them both covered in crimson red, and I just had a bad feeling being in Scotland, and just all the shit that was going down. And O'Grady, he was only had that one defeat from Little Red Lopez. He would beat everybody they put in front of him. So this was foreign territory, and look at that blood. O'Grady looks like he can't even see.
That was in a bad spot.
You would think they got brass knuckles in their gloves where they bleed.
Headbutts.
Yeah, just.
And that's in the worst spot for O'Grady.
It's a testament to just the warrior in both fighters. No matter who won, some people they see blood, they just get their whole mental change. Oh, I'm cut. Some people, I'm cut. Cut me.
Look at Sean O'Grady's face, bro. Oh.
I know.
I mean, that couldn't be in a worse spot too, because it's just coming down probably in both eyes.
Mm-hmm. It's like a blood waterfall. It's just right down, smack dab in the middle.
And Jim Watt's got new life in him. All of a sudden, he's now in an offensive position. He knows he's got Sean O'Grady in trouble. So now they're going to exchange. I just saw a nice left hook exchange in there. So there's some good shit going down.
Yeah, Teach, this fight was in Scotland. It was in Glasgow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got to pay attention more to the chat. So, sorry about that, Teach, man. Yep, Scotland, man. On a Friday night. No, was it the 1st of November, the 31st of October here? I think they said it was at something like 2 o'clock in the morning over there to be on our prime time. So they were, they made for an exception to be on United States television. The Scottish, they stayed, man. They're fans. Look at that. They're stopping the fight now for the referee to bring him back to his corner, have the doctor look at it. Oh, man.
Wow.
What? This is a terrible way for a fight to end, but man, this is boxing. The brutality of it. They're going back and going at it again.
I mean, look, it's already
gushing out.
Started bleeding, yeah.
Yep. If your faucet was leaking like that at home, you wouldn't go out till the plumber got there. If this fight took place today, they would have likely stopped it a round or two ago. You're right. Glasgow, Scotland.
Boy, this Uncle Phil in the chat isn't like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince.
Man, take his wrench, man, so we can get him out of here. You trying?
I'm gonna
throwing off the whole flow.
I gotta go to YouTube.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go switch to Pigeon Mike Tyson and come right back.
Boy, back in the day, they did not do graphics. Oh, here it is, round 12. So this is the last round of the fight. Yeah, I think O'Grady knew this fight was going to get stopped any second. So G5, you get to relax for the rest of the night, or you got other stuff going on?
I mean, I can relax, for a while. I mean, of course, working the AM, but I mean, I'll probably go live in, a little bit, a couple hours. All depends what time. Probably about 9:30 or something like that. If not before.
How often do you go live?
Well, I try to go at least 3 to 4 times a week, but it all depends on like how my schedule is flowing, or if I'm not being a host or co-host on a show.
Yeah.
Right.
Then if I'm a co-host, then it's kind of like my live that I'm doing for myself goes out the window, and then I might do a late night slot if I'm still up or whatever, because there's not too many people that's up. I mean, it's a large amount of people that stay up late, but it's not too many content creators that go like at 11 o'clock and stuff like that. I mean, you'll catch some people up, and some people catch the replay. It is what it is, but I still make sure I get the content out.
You catch me up. You catch me up, but I'm fading. It's like I've already had my cup of cocoa. I'm like nodding off, and I wouldn't be shocked. Say something stupid, I'd be slow. But I catch you all the time at night. I all the time, G5, man. You're always out there, and I love it, man. Because I love that you jump on anybody's show, because man, you love boxing. You speak your mind, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whose site you're on, man. I see you on there. I see that red shirt. I see that hat. And I'm like, my brother G5. I go tune in, man, and man, it's a testament to you. I don't know how you do it. I do 2 hours, 3 hours. I get tired, man. I have to have a glass of water and almost lay down.
Speaking about red, you got to look at O'Grady's face the next time they show up. You just spoke about red. G5's red shirt. Watch when they swing the camera around.
I can see Watt's face. Look at Watt covered the blood.
Look at O'Grady's face.
O'Grady's face is crazy.
Like a crimson mask. It's not even. It's like somebody took a paintbrush. Look at that, man.
They got a styrofoam plate full of ketchup and just smashed it in his face. I mean, it's everywhere.
Felt so bad when this happened. I felt so bad. Armchair Warrior, man. Thanks for coming in, bro. Salute, bro. Peace, man. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I was watching this fight on a Friday night, bro, and I just felt so bad. I said, no, there's going to be a rematch. This fight can't stop like that. This is his father, Pat O'Grady. A quasi big name in boxing, not up there with Kings, Arams, Kushners, but he had some pull. His name carried some weight in the boxing world. In fact, he tried to start his own federation to compete with the WBC and the WBA. He was calling it the WBF, and he had his son-in-law, got a heavyweight named Monty Masters. He was the first lightweight champion of his federation, and Sean O'Grady, after he won a fight after this fight. He won a title. He won the WBA lightweight title from Hal McKenty. And he gave that title up. He didn't want to defend it against the number one contender. And I think that was Claude Noel. That was when they had the Claude Noel and Espana fight. But
it was the WAA. That was the organization.
WAA, right? Exactly.
WAA.
World Athletic Association. Okay. And he was to fight the Hawaiian. His name was Andrew Ganigan.
Yep.
For the inaugural title, and Ganigan knocked the shit out of Sean O'Grady. Shocked the world. You know, he just never. If he had kept that WBA title, I think he would have made a lot. He would have excelled. But his father wanted to run the show. He started his own federation. It was a crazy time in boxing, but I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember the me shaking my head saying, "No, Sean, don't give up your belt, bro. You went so hard to get it. You should have gotten that belt in Scotland." And man, and you gave it up to go after Andy Ganigan for the WAA. I mean, I don't even think the federation exists today. If it does, it's probably in a gymnasium in Oklahoma.
So what do we got next, Bruce?
What we got next, my brother? I will close this window down. Maybe we'll get this next one up to a decent speed. Let's see here. We've got... My computer's slowing a little bit on me here, but I'm there. Get it on big screen. Get my share screen here. Now this fight, man. This fight is going to show you. This is going to show you what I think I might have showed this little tidbit early here. This is what Vitali looked like after this fight. This was Vitali Klitschko and Lennox Lewis. And if my brothers remember this fight, man, this was Lennox Lewis's last fight. This was basically, they called it the passing of the torch. Klitschko had already had he had the WBA heavyweight title, and it wasn't considered a major belt. He lost that to Chris Bird. Right? That's when he was undefeated, and he threw his shoulder out. Remember that fight?
Yep. Well, you know, Klitschko was a substitute. Kirk Johnson was supposed to fight because I was at HBO then. Kirk Johnson was supposed to fight. I talked to Kirk Johnson a week ago. Trick Nolte had him on my show. It was like, man, you know, and Kirk talked a little bit about it. But he came on.
Yep, I was here. Sure
was. Yeah, G5 was there, man. It's great how all this stuff intertwines. But yeah, man, let's watch Vitali Klitschko get in the ring. Go ahead, George. You know, finish what you were saying, brother.
Yeah, just Kirk. Klitschko was a late replacement for Kirk Johnson, and I don't think I was at HBO at this time. I didn't work the fight, but what I remember, and we'll see it now, Klitschko had some moments, but those cuts actually were the best things that happened to Klitschko, because if you watch this fight, everyone will see Lennox Lewis was starting to tag Klitschko. Lennox Lewis was probably going to knock Klitschko out, and those cuts, you know, they stopped the fight. But Lewis had some moments. Klitschko had some moments early in the fight, but Lennox, come the fourth or fifth round, was starting to hammer Klitschko with right hands. He was starting to hammer him. Fact.
The championship caliber of Lennox Lewis rose to the top, and Klitschko. Yeah. But Klitschko, man, you're going to see the fight that Klitschko gives him in the early parts of this fight, because I don't think, you know, Lennox, like we said earlier, he was trained for Kirk Johnson, different type of fighter, totally different fighter. You know, Klitschko was. A lot of people say he was avoided by Lewis, and this was a fight that he was just. There were no other options, so he took this fight. But you know, like we all said, this was Lewis's last fight. Lewis saw that, man, you know, these young kids, it's getting, you know, maybe it's my time to step down. And Lennox Lewis, very smart man, kept his fortunes intact. I mean, you can just tell today by how happy that the guy is, man. You know, he's what most retired boxers. They should strive to be in the shoes of Lennox Lewis, man. You know.
Well, props to him for retiring and staying retired. That doesn't happen often.
Hyphy, thanks for coming in, brother. Lewis had a decent chin. Yeah, I don't know, man. He had a decent chin, but when he got tagged, when he got knocked out those 2 times, that chin let him down. Like everybody else. I mean, everybody's George Chuvalo, Tex Cobb, Jake LaMotta. There aren't too many people that you could talk about where you could take a sledgehammer and hit him in the chin and they're not going to go down. You know, everybody, when they get hit in that spot, it's on the ground. Tony Boswell, bro, be careful, man. Keep your eyes on the road, brother. Always showing support in here. Salute Tony Boswell, man. We're going to be here for a couple more fights if my brother George is willing, because this is this is boxing at its finest. Tuesday night fights here, man. I love being here. My wife just went to bed on me, 8 o'clock, and she's already conking. She's clocking pigeons in there. Maybe she's listening in. I don't know. We noticed we've got the great Emmanuel Stewart in the corner of Lennox Lewis. Some say the greatest trainer of all time now. I've heard that said by some respected people. But, man, whatever it was, Lennox Lewis took, Manny Stewart took Lennox Lewis after he had gotten knocked out by Oliver McCall and just showed him, you know, they were at their inaugural meeting having dinner. And Lennox was asking Manny Stewart, you know, what did I do wrong? And they stood up in the restaurant, and Manny's like, well, stand like this, like you were. And it was a match made in heaven right there. Lennox Lewis just kept with Manny Stewart and improved, came back from defeats. And I mean, bro, you know, we're gonna see, like you said, George, after the first few rounds, after the 5th, 6th round, Lennox Lewis just bit the bullet. He said, man, I'm a champion, I'm a fighter. I'm getting knocked around by this kid. Get his eye busted open. I'm gonna take him out. And like you said, he was throwing those right hands where I was rooting. I was going for Klitschko, because I always go for the underdog. It doesn't have anything to do with their color, their beliefs. They could both be purple for all I care, man.
Those were not headbutts too in this fight. Lennox Lewis ripped Klitschko's face apart with right hands.
You know, if Tom Brady's going against Matt Jones, I'm going for the underdog, Matt Jones. You know, even if they switched alliances, I go with the underdogs, bro. And this fight, I was watching Lennox Lewis get hit again. Like, we only saw it happen really twice, where he was in close fights. The fight with Ray Mercer was a great fight too, but you know, very seldom on the brink of defeat. And this fight, in the beginning,
Look at Vladimir. Look how young Vladimir is.
Yeah, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Salute Mr. Mechanical, man. Thanks for coming in here, brother.
Mr. Mechanical.
I throw Mr. Mechanical wherever I go too, man. Good brother. And always shouting me out. And Bruce goes. He gives me the 3 O's in there, man. I don't know if that's your phone that does it, but always do, man. And I appreciate the shouts out, brother. Thanks for coming in tonight, man. We're going over some bloody fights over here.
Yeah, Emmanuel Stewart, he like some trainers, they don't know how to strengthen a fighter's weaknesses and strengthen their strengths at the same time. And I'm like, man, that was a perfect match. It was like bread and butter. Like, he took what he was lacking at and tightened it up. And I was like, oh yeah, that was a perfect adjustment that he needed.
Before Vladimir Klitschko fought Layman Brewster the second time, I got to shoot with Klitschko. He was training in the Alps for the Brewster rematch, so I got to spend a few days with them. And one night I had dinner with Emmanuel Stewart, and he just loved boxing and just a good guy, and was sad when he passed away. But being around Emmanuel Stewart, just the enthusiasm he had talking about boxing when the cameras weren't there was cool.
Yeah, see, George, you got it, man. You were blessed. You were blessed to be around some of boxing historical figures and actually have memories that are visual and vivid that you can remember. And that's some dope stuff there, man.
That's one of my best memories, because I mean, I'll make it short, but it started, there was about 12 of us at dinner, and as the night went on, more and more people left. By the end of the night, it was just me and Emmanuel, and we were talking boxing. It was just the two of us, and I have a picture somewhere. Me and Emmanuel from that night. So yes, definitely blessed, and I'll never forget memories like that.
Man, we're blessed. You can come and share those memories with us, bro.
Man,
We
Now
are
watch
truly blessed.
Klitschko.
Yep.
Klitschko's gonna hammer him this first round. I remember this first round. These are some big dudes too. 6'5" and 6'8". I think Klitschko was 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah,
Lennox
and
was
I remember that
256 pounds.
that Lamont Brewster fight too. That was an upset, man. That was one of those jump out of your chairs. He nailed him. Whoa! It was every. I love heavyweight boxing. I love knockouts. When an underdog knocks out a champion like that, bro, that it's almost like somebody took a couple of paddles, gave me the bomb. It just gives me new life for some reason, man. I think that's probably the highest I get is when I see an underdog knock out a champion, a la Weaver, John Tate, a la Ali and Sonny Liston. I mean, it goes on and on.
They just had some poll. I just read some poll.
Right here too, man. I almost had it right here.
They voted. People have
Moore.
voted that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight to come out of the UK, and they're crazy because Lennox Lewis. Look,
man.
Tyson Fury hasn't done anything compared to Lennox Lewis's resume. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, I missed that. Somebody in the comment. Okay, yeah.
No.
Hey,
Man, there was a poll about who the best UK heavyweight of all time was, and people, they often vote with who's on top right now, and they voted Fury. But,
no, I can't argue with people that votes. All I can do is, I just accept ignorance for what it is, bro. And you
not even
can't,
close.
You can't tell people. People have their minds made up, and okay, who did he fight? Tell me, tell me some of the great, the defenses he's had of his title. Show me his regaining the title after getting knocked out. Bro, that does not happen, bro.
Now with Fury, you didn't get your first title defense until you won the belt and until you got against Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
Like, come on.
I hope Dillian White knocked out.
It's just, come on now. Oliver McCall knocked Lennox slap out. He turned around, avenged it, and got his get back the correct way.
Exactly. And did the same to Hasim Rahman.
That was my next thing. Like, he avenged his losses, and when he avenged them, he did it better. And I'm like, man, Lennox beat.
Rockman didn't even want a rematch. He knocked Rockman out. Rockman knocked him out. There could have been a trilogy there. I asked Hasim Rockman, and he just he said, I don't know why. It's I wasn't going to press him, but it's pretty obvious why, because it was just final. It was almost the Joe Louis and Max Schmeling rematch results. There's no need for a third fight.
A heavyweight boxer puncher. Oh man, look. Oh man, his jab. Oh man, that's why I like it when Lennox explained to people how he kind of got that jab hook, that like a juke. It's like a jab with like at an angle. He was showing like Deontay Wilder and people behind the scene, how to do the punch and stuff like that. I was like, man, Lennox a bad dude. Mm-hmm. Bad dude. He one of my favorite heavyweights, man.
I was never a fan of Lennox Lewis. I was hoping. Oh yeah, look at that right hand. Vitali just nailed him with a beautiful right hand. But when he knocked out Razor Ruddock, that's when I just kind of had a new respect for him. I had it all along, but I begrudgingly really acknowledged him after that fight. And man, what can you say, man? Lennox Lewis he's on the Mount Rushmore. He's got a good argument to be up there, bro.
Oh yeah, Lennox is. Man, I'm telling that Emmanuel Stewart adjustment, man.
Emmanuel Stewart was notorious. The Kronk Gym, they kept that place 90 degrees in the middle of the winter in Detroit winters. You walk in there and you're gonna sweat.
Oh my God, yes. Listen, I never went to the Kronk, but my best friend growing up, his parents kept their house at 90 degrees year round, like summer, winter. So we used to call it the Kronk. Whenever we went there, we were at the Kronk, and he had the plastic on his couches, so you would stick to the couches because it was so hot in there.
The plastic on the couches.
That was the New Jersey Kronk.
First generation, bro, right? That's when you took those plastic covers off maybe on a Sunday when your parents came over, maybe around Christmas. But aside from that, nope. The plastic covered couches from the 60s. I remember that, man.
Man, these are some jittery Tuesday night fights we've got here.
Hey, I was reading Shonnery comment. Lennox might be one of the few fighters that can be the best fighter to come out of about to represent Canada and the UK.
Yeah.
And what was he born in Jamaica, or did he go to Jamaica?
Yeah, he was born there, and he was raised in Canada. And then he grew up in the UK as well. See, I knew that, but when I read it again, I was like, man, he might be considered the greatest Canadian fighter and the UK fighter. And I don't know too many people.
These guys, they're trading now. Now Klitschko is dominating. This almost looks like Andrew Galata beating up Riddick Bowe. Just that brief second. I mean, Klitschko looks really good here. Oh,
was the fight this jittery when you put it on, or has it gotten more jittery?
Is it super jittery?
Or maybe it's me. Is it me, G5, or is it jittery?
No, it's a little choppy.
Yeah.
But we can see it though.
Oh.
Damn. I'm gonna have to get my. I'm such a novice at this sharing screens and all this. I got to get one of my boys down here, and he's gonna have to show me how I can speed it up, or maybe stop it from jittering like this, because it bear with us out. Anybody still hanging around, man? We're new to this. We can talk these fights up. I don't even know if I'm even supposed to show them out here, but hey, I can always take it down. I'm doing this for enjoyment for me and the family. George, G5, just sitting back, chopping up some good fights with you cats, man. If I have to take it down, I have to take it down, and I will improve on the quality. So please bear with us with that. Look at that right hand by Klitschko, beautiful right hand. Had Lennox Lewis is holding on.
So Rodolfo Rivera. They didn't vote Tyson Fury as the best heavyweight of all time. It was a poll that came out. They were talking about the best heavyweights to come out of the UK. So it wasn't a best heavyweight of all time. It was a best heavyweight out of the UK, and they voted for Tyson Fury.
He damn sure is the best heavyweight of all time. Sure, you so far on the list. Sure. Jeez. How many great heavyweights? Tyson Fury, you down there.
Klitschko still looks to be dominating, but I can see the cut already on the side of his head.
Yep, a right hand opened up that cut.
And that gives Lennox Lewis a target now. And a precise puncher like that, you already just landed an overhand right there.
Mm-hmm. That's like giving a sharpshooter a scope and a beam on a gun. He's gonna hit you.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna hit you.
And Ali always said that he had this knack when he threw a punch, he turned it over at the last second. So if you had a cut there, he was going to open it up even more.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to tear skin with it. He just had I don't know who taught him it, or if all boxers know it, but once they hone in on that, they start tuning in on that even more. So Klitschko, there's no way he could continue this fight at the end. Not only was Lewis beginning to kick his ass and going to knock him out, but that cut was ugly. When when you see that at the when they stop this fight eventually, man, it's just it belongs in the category of some of the bloodiest fights we've seen.
You know, but props to Klitschko. This was the last fight he lost. He didn't lose a fight again after this.
He lost to a great, and went streaking after that. But I mean, he had to improve and do something better so he could keep winning. But then you can look at the resume and see who all the people he fought after that. Not all of them were world beaters, but I mean, it's a lot of people that have that on their resumes. So.
And you know it's funny that you look at their records there, so close. Derek Bailey, man, thanks for coming in. You know, you go on BoxRec, you check their records out, man. You know, Lewis 41-2-1, and Klitschko 45-2. They both been stopped in their 2 defeats, and 41 knockouts to 32 knockouts. So I mean, they're very, very similar careers. Their statistics almost mirror each other.
Klitschko knocked out Kirk Johnson 6 months after this fight. It was Klitschko's first fight after this loss. He knocked out Kirk Johnson in the second round. I was at that fight, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I can remember the angles on this fight too. I remember my wife saying, "Oh my God." The camera was right there. We can see the cut getting bigger by the round. His cut man's almost burying that Q-tip inside there.
Yeah, when you have an eyelid cut and you have a cut on the jawbone under the eye, because they have 2 targets. You know, they can keep aiming for the eye or just keep aiming at your jaw. One of them is gonna get busted open, even worse.
Well, see, on top of the eye, that's the thinnest part of skin where bone meets skin. That's the crest of your eyebrows. And there was actually an operation going on back in the 80s. I remember Freddie Pacheco talking about it, and Troy Dorsey got it.
That was the right hand.
Interview. They'll actually fight on your skull. They'll peel the skin back. They'll file. Vito Antifermo had it done. O'Grady had it done. Matthew Franklin, Saad Mohammed, he had it done. You don't hear much about it anymore.
Hey, Bruce. Bruce, check Remy's. Why don't you announce Remy's good news in the chat? Can you see it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely, Remy.
That's awesome.
All right, Remy, salute, man. Another boy from the Diaz family, man. Shout out to Remy, bro. Shout out, brother. Gratitude, man. Best wishes.
Hey, congrats to the fam, Remy.
That's awesome.
Eagles Webb, my brother. Salute, man. Salute. Okay, stop, pay attention, man. I got a lot of cats sliding in, man. I know, man. Staying for the whole show it's almost out of the question on the internet today. But you know, and I appreciate people coming in, giving me a thumbs up, sticking on for a little while. And you know, I look at the average watch time, and man, I was on a panel last night, and the average watch time was like 49 minutes. I'm like, damn, that's impressive. I'm gonna start watching that now. But anyway, man. Just stopping in. You guys know how much I appreciate that, bro. And we're a couple old Hemenegas here, man. You know, we watch all the new stuff going on, but we got a love for some of this old stuff. And me and George, we get together now. We're doing it on Tuesday nights here, man. You know, in honor of our memorable USA Tuesday night fights. My brother G5 stopping in, man. Awesome stuff, man. I get the perspective from the future, from the present, and then from the past over here, man. It's kind of a funky little thing we got going on, but we're kind of digging it. I got the Toker 2 going, dusting off the brain cells as we're going along, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Oh, don't worry. I'm good. I got some good stuff that, I'll put into my body here soon, Brucey. You know. Yeah. Pick up some food. And I'm good.
I'm just gonna put that on stop for 1 second, just to show you as my enjoyment right here, brother.
What you got? What's that? Purple haze?
That's Purple Haze, man. That's the
Come on, man.
that's the nice little pine cone there. We'll get back on.
There you go.
Get the fight back up here, man.
Oh man.
I gotta go up. See, I did that foolishness. I have to go all the way back to the bottom over here.
G5, you in the car? Where are you?
Yep. Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm almost home though. I'm right down the street. I love street tacos. So
nice.
I'm about to pick me up about 6 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here we go. Slug time coming up here. You know what I remember a lot about this fight? I remember Lennox Lewis going back to the corner and just slugging himself on his stool, putting his arm like, whoo. Like, what did I get myself into here, bros? This was, and I remember too another thing that it was on England time, so prime time over there, but it was nice because we caught this on. I think HBO might have had it on an afternoon. I'm sure it was.
This fight?
Yeah.
This fight was pretty sure. Yeah, this fight was in LA.
It was in LA?
Yeah, it was that Staples Center. What used to be Staples Center.
Oh man, I'm mixed up about it then. Was this fight on a Sunday?
No, you might be thinking of when he fought Hasim Rahman in South Africa.
It's this fight. It's just I have the time of it mixed up. But I remember watching this fight live for sure, bro. This was huge. I mean, this cut was so vivid, and the camera was so close to it, like it is now. We're getting the same transmission, man. I mean, this was ugly. And Klitschko was determined to carry on in this fight, bro.
He showed a lot of heart, but at this point, Lennox was just shaking off those shots. He got shook up a little in the first few rounds, but but Lennox was a lot of people talk about his chin, but he was shaking the shots off, and as you can see, the punches Lennox was landing, they were just shredding Klitschko's face. But Klitschko showed nothing but heart. You can't teach heart. You can teach jabs and hooks. You can't teach a fighter to have heart, and Klitschko, among his skills, he had a lot of heart.
Before this fight, before Lennox Lewis caught his second win, I thought he was going to get beaten this fight, and like we said, this was his last fight, so he somebody told him something, somebody gave him a little tap on the shoulder. This was a tough fight. I was impressed that Lewis came back after the pounding that he got early in the fight.
Yep. And he was 256 pounds in this fight. It was his heaviest weight. Look, he was smart. He was one of the smart ones. How many fighters retire and come back? It's pretty rare. It's much more rare when a fighter retires and stays retired. Like Marvin Hagler did it. Rocky Marciano did it. Lennox Lewis did it. There aren't many that do it, but Lennox is one of the few, and good for him for getting out and staying out.
Michael Spinks, another one I recall, not too distant past. And they all had lucrative offers to come out of retirement.
Right.
But they just didn't bite it, man. Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler, he went out with a bad taste in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to accept anything except in a rematch with Sugar Ray. And when he knew that wasn't going to happen, he became an actor in Italy. And shout out, man, we're almost on the anniversary of Marvin Hagler's passing. I can't believe it happens. It happened like a year ago.
That's
next
crazy.
month. It went by so fast. I remember it was in fair weather, but I didn't think it was spring. I thought it was more like it was just a fast year.
Yeah,
fast year, man. We lost a lot. I lost a lot of people that I considered close to me this year. But man, I'll tell you, I also brought a lot of people into my life too. So, life is it's a yin yang, man. It's a give take. It's a young man sport. The young move in, the old move out, and that's the way life goes, bro. But man, this fight, man. It's never going to get old with me, bro. This is another gory fight that just fits in perfect tonight.
Oh, I see FQ400. You're a Wilder hater. I see that now.
You know what? Here's the thing about Wilder. Wilder didn't start fighting till it was so late in his game, and the guy was almost a novice and still won a medal in the Olympics. Became heavyweight champion with no experience. Defended his title 10 times. I'm not the biggest Wilder fan, but I appreciate what he did. I mean, he had 10 title defenses, and look, his right hand, if he lands on anyone, they might go. So he's got a great story, what he did for his daughter. There's a lot of hatred for him, and I guess a lot of it comes from the excuses he had with Fury. But look, he started boxing late in his life, and he became a bronze medalist, and he became heavyweight champion of the world. So you can hate him all you want, but there are facts. There are facts.
Limited amateur, career. Turn pro,
right?
For a situational. How many people are going to pick up boxing? Boxing is not something that you just pick up like football or basketball. No, you just don't. And then if you can get in there and be successful, come on.
I mean,
man.
It's really incredible what he did with the little experience he had.
That's the American dream, brother.
Yep. So this is the last round of the
everybody, fight. And nobody got up. The only person that was to get up from his right hand is Tyson Fury. You think about that. In 44 fights, one person.
First ballot Hall of Fame, just for the fact that he won the heavyweight championship, defended it 10 times. That's only Ali's record compares to that as far as defenses go modern day. So what can one say, bro? Shout out to Deontay, whatever he chooses to do, bro. He's a champ. He's a heavyweight champion, bro.
I mean, you cemented your legacy, so it's like win, lose, or draw. I mean, for a while, nobody even wanted to fight you. So,
but doing those psychedelics, though, talk to me first, though. Don't go into that Hayabusa right away, bro. That's I'm a veteran of that. I'm a veteran of that road, bro. Okay, look at that. Look at that eyeball on Vitali Klitschko right now. Check out that.
Klitschko's holding on now.
Yeah, Klitschko's dead tired. Klitschko's getting tagged, man. He's getting tagged, but he's got that dog in him. He's got the heart in this fight. He did not want this fight stopped.
Right. You see the waterfall blood in the corner, Bruce, before this round. That cut on his cheekbone was just leaking. They wiped it off. It just kept going. They wiped it off again. It kept going. I was like, oh man.
But you could see Klitschko's running out of steam too. His legs don't look as steady. But there was no quit in him for sure.
Yeah. His base getting wider as well too. I mean, he has a wide base, but you can tell it's getting wider and wider due to fatigue and things of that nature.
And Lennox Lewis, like you were saying earlier, what'd you say was over 250 in this fight?
256.
256. And it doesn't look like that's a hard 256 either. He looks soft around the midsection.
He definitely wasn't in prime shape. And look, I don't think he wanted to train. He retired at the right time. If you're not all in, you can get hurt. And he had some rough moments in this fight. And he had a long distinguished career, and he got out with his health and his money. So, props to him.
Shout out to Jeff Lucida. I didn't see you out there, brother, man. Thank you for coming in, man. Always see Jeff around, man. No, another good brother. Always showing the love.
I remember Klitschko yelling, stop the fight, just yelling like, no. Like that uppercut that Lennox just landed.
Yep.
Short uppercut on the inside.
At the end of the fight. And Klitschko's walking.
Klitschko was pissed when they stopped it. Yeah,
sure
Vitali definitely had the better chin out of the Klitschkos. Vitali, most definitely, he had the better chin for sure. No, you're gonna watch Klitschko go crazy. Look at his face, though. Look at his face. And that's not a headbutt in sight. That is all Lennox Lewis that did that.
Sharp shooting punches.
There it is. They stopped the fight. Now, the next shot you'll see is going to be Vitali gets up. He didn't realize they stopped it until just now. And he's mad. That's a big dude.
Huge.
Nobody's getting near him.
Look at him.
I think his brother's the one that comes in the ring and calms him down. I think he's the only one that can get. See, look at him, man. He doesn't want.
No.
There we go. There's Vlad. He said, "I have a crystal ball. You're not going to believe what's going to happen after this fight." And Lewis is not dinged up at all.
Well, he's got a little cut on his nose.
A little cut on his nose, but I'm saying by comparison. And Vlad is raising his hands. I'm sure he's getting massive applause. And Lennox Lewis is kind of saying, "Well, I won the fight, guys, but you think we're going to do anything after this?"
Good for Lennox.
Damn, look at that.
Lennox's assistant trainer was a guy named Harold Knight. I'm from Jersey, and we grew up very close to each other. Harold Knight was a really, really good amateur back in his day. He was with Lennox for almost his entire career as his assistant trainer. Look, this is Vitali is like, let's keep fighting. Let's fight. We fight. Yeah. We fight.
You know what he's saying? He said, rematch. Damn.
Hey, Lennox was smart. You know, Lennox had just come off the Tyson fight almost a year before, so he actually was over a year. He had over a year off, so he made a lot of money against Tyson. So he was good for him for retiring.
Right time, right move. But once again, man, we just saw down to the white meat. That was serious lacerations of the face. You know, things like that we just we hate to see it in boxing. We hate to see that end of fight. But that was fairly inevitable to what was going to happen in this fight. You know, Lennox Lewis showed us why he was just the best of an era right there, man. You know, the fight with Mike Tyson. I look at that fight, man, and I see just a difference in the physical size of the two people. Lennox was
ringside.
Giant.
I was ringside for that fight, for the Tyson Lewis fight.
What did you think of the difference in size? Was Lewis just manhandling Mike Tyson in that fight?
Lewis was massive, but everyone knew Mike Tyson didn't even train for that fight. I mean, Mike Tyson's training for the Lennox Lewis fight was smoking weed in Hawaii or wherever he was training. And Tyson admitted he was in it for as much money as he could get. Tyson weighed over 230 pounds in that fight. So, you know, I mean, he had a puncher's chance, but
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I mean, I wasn't no fanboy, but I watched the whole Mike Tyson era from Customato coming out of the amateurs all the way through winning his preliminaries on Don King cards, and then that first the victory against Trevor Berbick, the youngest heavyweight to win a world title, and I watched and I knew that was not the Tyson who fought Lennox Lewis.
Right.
I mean, people who go, "Oh, but Lennox Lewis beat Mike Tyson," bro. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Anybody that says that, they'll say, "Oh yeah, well Rocky Marciano beat Joe Louis." It's like, bitch, please, we're talking about fighters in their prime. We're not talking about Tyson and Lennox Lewis. But anyway, I'm gonna try to dig this one up here, man. This fight we're gonna see now. This is Thomas Hearns against Iran Barkley.
The Blade Barkley.
Iran the Blade Barkley, who won, who had a very short amateur career. He was actually trained by he took up boxing because of his sister. His sister was a female boxer. I've never seen any films of her or anything else. I've seen a picture of her, and she's you could tell she was a Barkley, put it that way, man. And I'm sure she'd kick some ass. But Iran Barkley and Thomas Hearns. Iran Barkley won the middleweight title. Let me see. Who did he win that middleweight title from, George? Refresh my memory quickly here. It was it was this fight right here. He won the middleweight title from Thomas Hearns in this fight.
It was this fight.
Yeah, he had an amazing career, Iran Barkley. Really an up and down career. You wrote him off for dead. In this fight, he was brought in really much as a sacrificial lamb to shine, to let Thomas Hearns' career shine. And he did everything but that. I remember this was what year, George? This was 89, 88. I was gonna say 88. I said 89, but yeah, I was working. I had a job that I got out around 5-6 o'clock, and this was a Friday night fight. This was on, I think it was TVKO. You remember that pay-per-view series, that pay-per-view unit outfit?
I think HBO pay-per-view. That's what their unit was called back in the day. It was called they used TVKO.
And what was it? What was it again? It was HBO's pay-per-view?
Their pay-per-views were on. It was part of HBO. It was the pay-per-view arm of HBO was TVKO.
And that was a great concept. It was like maybe once a month. And the fights that they put on, they were, it was no bullshit. You didn't have to watch a whole card of, hey man, some people want to watch that. That's what the internet's for. This was a main event and a co-main event. And bro, they were like, get your ass home in time for these fights. They weren't outrageously priced. I think it was only like $19.95 what they charged for them through the cable service. So they were not only entertaining 50-50 fights like this, where only the Iran Barkley people knew was going to happen in this fight. But shout out to the TVKO. Something like that might give boxing a little the shot in the ass that it needs. Keys to winning.
This was Tommy's first defense of his middleweight title. He had in '87 he moved up to light heavyweight. I remember he beat Dennis Andres for the light heavyweight belt.
Yeah.
Then he moved back down to middleweight. He beat Roldan, who had fought Marvin Hagler tough.
Roldan was killing everybody.
Tommy knocked him out, and this was his first defense of his middleweight belt. The Kronk colors, I loved it. I love the Kronk colors.
The yellow and red. The Kronk colors, awesome.
29 years old. Night.
Yeah, and Thomas Hearns is older than Barkley, but yet Barkley, man, they were young by today's standards, but both of these guys had miles on them here.
They were big middleweights too, 6'1". Both guys were 6'1". Barkley was a big middleweight.
Hearns' reach is 6'1" at 78 inches.
That's crazy. Most heavyweights don't have a 78 inch. Well, now they do. But.
Now Barkley won the super middleweight after this title, didn't he, George?
Well, he beat Tommy, I think, I don't know if it was at 68 or.
Well, wait, he beat Tommy for the light heavyweight in the rematch. That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know if he
never defended it. I don't know if it was stripped for some reason, but yeah, he beat Tommy. The second fight was for Tommy's light heavyweight belt.
Well, he's
that
the
he won
only
from
guy to
Andre.
beat Tommy Hearns twice. He's the only guy to decision Tommy Hearns in a fight. So there you go, right there. I mean, that's
Hall of Fame stats right there, bro.
Yeah.
I ran the Blade Barkley, tough guy. And you know something? Right now, today, if anybody trains in New York City or wants to train there, is it the 52nd Street gym? Well, Iran Barkley's looking for work in New York, man. He wants to be a trainer. He trains now. He's looking for other fighters to train. So if anybody is seriously in need of a trainer, hunt down Iran Barkley. He will return phone calls. Look at this guy, man. I thought he was going to fall over walking down to the ring the way he was built. He had the skinny legs, 45-2 at this point in his career. Only time he got beat is when he got knocked out up until this fight. And who beat Tommy Hearns before this? Only the other two kings, bro.
Exactly.
And damn.
Exactly.
And anybody out there who doesn't know, I'm sure you do, because I got some Sharpies out there knowing it. We're talking Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Those are the only two fighters that beat Thomas Hearns up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like an alien. Look at that guy. Imagine a 6'2", 160-pound dude looking down on you like that. That's got a right hand that'll take your head off. I'm trying to stop using the F word so much, man. And I just did.
78-inch reach, man.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, man, that's long. He got a 4-inch reach advantage over Iran Barkley, and they're basically the same height.
And just remember, Hearns used to be a welterweight, 6'1", 78-inch reach as a welterweight. That's insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
And Hearns was people don't a lot of people know this, but it wasn't known until but anyway, as an amateur, Hearns only knocked out 7 or 8 fighters. He had over 100 victories as an amateur fighter. He didn't become a puncher until he went to the Kronk gym, and Emmanuel Stewart said, "Hey, bro, we're gonna do this to you." And then all of a sudden, I think the first 28 fighters that he fought, he knocked out. And there was a whole different beast out there. People who saw him in his amateur career, they're saying, "What the hell? What happened to this kid? Where'd that right hand come from?" Oh, Emmanuel Stewart saw that, man. That's part of the great trainer, Emmanuel Stewart's eye. Yep, Derek Bailey. You know it, brother. Queequee's over here, man. Queequee, thanks for sticking around for a little bit, sister.
Boy, Hearns could put his punches together too. I mean, if he wanted to outbox you, you could not outbox him. If he wanted to slug with you, he could take you out. He was, man, the skills that he had were phenomenal.
You know, I'm going to go on. I'm going to say right now on the record, I think he was the greatest 154-pound fighter in the world of all time. You know, that's anybody can come back and subjectively whack me with another fighter, but bro, that's my choice for the best 154-pound fighter.
That's a pretty good fighter to have on your list. You know, Khan Shawnery said this before, but it's funny how styles make fights, because Tommy Hearns annihilated Roberto Duran like no one ever did. Roberto Duran and Barkley beat Tommy Hearns. So you would figure if Barkley ever fought Roberto Duran, he's going to destroy him if you just put their fights up. And then Roberto Duran goes out and shocks the world and beats Iran Barkley. So styles make fights, and you can say who you think is going to win, but let the fight happen.
That whole triangle theory, you go throughout boxing history, and it just does not jibe.
Yeah, you can't just look at a record and say, well, this guy beat that guy, so he'll beat him. That's not how it works.
Yeah. We can all name one, bro, easily.
Right.
It's the style, not the fighter. Their style is
it's difficult for you to either get inside or work outside. You in for a long night. Long night. I don't care who you are. You in for a long night.
Oh, I thought this fight was going to be stopped on cuts. As we for the theme of the show. The bloodiest fights in recent memory, or just the bloodiest fights I could find in recent memory. Put it that way. But Thomas Hearns, he just became boxer. You would expect him to be right hand crazy, and Iran Barkley looks like a sucker for that right hand. But lo and behold, the right hand thrower became the right hand receiver in this fight.
Well, Tommy went through that stretch where he wasn't being called the Hitman anymore. He was the Motor City Cobra, and he had those hand problems, and he wasn't knocking people out like he used to until he fought Duran, and he starched Duran, and then he went into the Hagler fight, and he was the Hitman again.
That was probably the most deadly knock anybody will ever see. The dispatching of Roberto Duran.
I thought he killed Duran.
And even the sound of it. I had to travel to see that fight. It wasn't available in my cable system, so I was with a bunch of people, in a town a few miles over. And when that happened, somebody said he shot him, and it was a boom. Just the sound that glove made against Duran's jaw, and the way that he fell face first.
Duran never ever lost like that before or since. No one ever did that to Duran like that. That was insane.
I know William Joppy put a
well, yeah, Duran was like 76 years old.
Yeah,
so.
Well, and Roberto Duran, I still hear things about him. He a COVID survivor from the early days, and man, I see these guys with those white beards. It kind of makes me feel a little younger to see that everybody's looking that way. Jim Watt. We were talking about him, and I didn't go on with that Lennox Lewis thing because it was chopping a little bit. But at the end, they were talking to some British correspondents, and Jim Watt is one of the ones that they were talking to. Look, I mean, his head looked like Mount Kilimanjaro. No.
Well, former heavyweight champ Chris Bird is coming back. He's got a fight in March. He's coming back as a middleweight. He's 51 years old, and he's in a real fight. He's fighting it's not an exhibition. He's coming back to fight. So I wish him well, but he's 51 years old.
It's a sad fact of retired boxers, bro. I mean, one of the early movies of my day, and if anybody's never seen it, go watch it. It's called Requiem for a Heavyweight. I mean, and it deserves to be watched in reverence from beginning to end. Anybody who thinks they know boxing, who thinks they know where it comes from, check this movie out, man. Anthony Quinn, the guy lived in my hometown towards the end. They buried him. You can't bury people in your backyard, but they let Anthony Quinn's wife bury him in the backyard. That's how he was a local celebrity over here. But anyway, regardless thereof, Requiem for a Heavyweight. Check it out, man. Really.
Speaking of check it out, this is the third round.
Oh yeah, this is it, bro. This is let it go. I'm sorry to even regress over here. Look at these guys going at it.
Because it came out of nowhere. I mean, this fight doesn't have the between rounds. They're cutting that out. But Barkley was busted up. He was bleeding from both eyes, I think.
Yeah, for sure, bloody. And this goes with the theme. Busted up.
But look at Barkley.
On the verge of defeat. I think the doctor might have had to take a look. Is this the third round already?
This is the third round.
Thomas Hearns staying on his front feet, throwing the jabs, trying to get that right hand in there. But Iran Barkley's having none of it. He's just reverting to his style, the blade, throwing those wide arc body shots, catching Hearns downstairs. But missed the haymaker. Hearns is landing that right hand on that left side of the head.
He's landing uppercuts. Hearns is, man.
Oh.
Going to the body
shots.
See, now those body shots hurt Barkley because Barkley was backing up here.
Exactly.
Look at another body shot by Tommy.
Oh,
Another body shot by
and
Tommy.
he feels every one of those.
Like this is where it looked like the fight was about to end, and Barkley was going to get knocked out.
Yeah, Hearns in full control, man. Hasn't been hurt yet. He's just he seems to be relaxing, trying to pick his punches, looking for that head. He knows that eye is a target, and
there it is.
Oh! Look at that on his back.
I'll tell you what about Tommy. He gets up. Tommy always got up, and they did. I think they let it go on. Richard Steele was crazy for letting this go on. And that's it.
That's it.
Tommy fell through the ropes.
Making sure he
watch on the replay. He hit him with a hook, and Tommy kind of like he didn't go down. He was like going down in slow motion, and Barkley hit him with another shot on the way down. But I give Hearns credit. He got up. I mean, the fight ended, but he got up. He got up. Tommy Hearns had a lot of heart.
Yep.
This was what an upset. Upset of the year.
Yep.
Barkley, blood
sliding
streaming
counters, right, man. Sliding counter says Barkley had a style that Hearns just couldn't figure out.
Man,
I loved when he stopped that. It was Vladimir Klitschko that Chris Bird. No, it was Vitali. You're right. Injured his shoulder.
Vladimir beat Bird.
I get Lamont Brewster and Chris Bird mixed up in conversation, but yeah, that was an awesome victory too. When I saw Vitali not coming out of his corner and little Chris Bird, the middleweight, winning the heavyweight championship of the world, that was big time, bro. I thought that was a huge event.
They got to show a replay. Yeah, Tommy was just devastated. That's his mom in there kissing him.
Yep. And like we said, 29 years old, man.
Here it is. Here's the replay.
Less than half of what I am now.
Watch this right hook. Boom. That had him out, and he just hung there, and then he hits him again.
One more way down.
Oh. Now we'll see the other angle. It's a right hook right
boom. Oh. It was, the first one, he was out on his feet, as they say. But second one, that coup de grace, look at that shot.
But what's crazy is Tommy still got up. He still got up.
He did, bro. I love boxing.
I think Richard Steele should have stopped it, but luckily he didn't take too much punishment, but he almost went out of the ring. Woo. They got the Vaseline caked on Barkley's eyes.
Oh yeah. Time to go to the hospital. Get some thread in that head.
I remember in the post-fight interview, he said it was a line from The Predator, the movie The Predator. They asked him how'd he win. He said they asked him, "Were you thinking about the blood?" He said, "Man, I ain't got time to bleed." And that was a line from Predator that Barkley used in that fight. But what an upset, man! What a
Conchanery's nephew right there, man. Let's just take a quick look at that while it's up there.
Oh man,
I'm
on.
Sorry,
like
bro. I'm on Yeah. I got to stop sharing the screen here, man. I was looking at something, and here we go, back to normal again. So that was an upset. That was a killer fight. killer fight right there. And dude, I can just remember seeing that fight. It was a Friday night, and I remember that I was waiting for it to get over because I was going to go out. But it was one of those like, wow. I thought it was going to be a typical Thomas Hearns defense. I ran the Barkley. We all knew the guy was beatable, and Hearns was one of the elite. He was one of the kings. But boy, did he come back down to reality.
Hearns was not supposed to lose that fight, but then Barkley has this big win, and he fights Roberto Duran, and that's a fight Barkley was supposed to win. Barkley was supposed to roll over, fight one of the legends and pick up a nice payday. And Roberto Duran, he did what he did.
Shout out to my brother Thrill Hill. Yeah, the only serious beating, well, Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. And nobody thought Iran Barkley was going to be mentioned in that breath. It was unheard of. It was great. It was violent. It was bloody, unexpected. It was boxing. It was what we love. It was just great rehashing that, man. Great rehashing that.
Those were some bloody fights. I'll give you that. You picked out some bloody ones.
Yep, Steele let it go with Chavez and Taylor, and I think the anniversary of that is right around the corner.
It's in March, yeah.
So many good fights at this time of the year. Back then, I personally didn't sit around the house like I do now. Most nights I'd be doing something. I worked out a lot at night towards later on. But when I was a kid, I'd be in the bar drinking. I'd be catching whatever was happening. I wasn't sitting around watching fights. But then as it gets colder and as the years go on, you stay home for these HBO fights. They're a treat. It kind of takes a little bit of the spunk out of you. No, I'm going to sit home and watch a fight tonight. Come on. And that pretty much evolved the evening boxing, because back in the day, the fights were all on in the afternoon.
Yep, Saturday and Sundays. Yep,
and you could hit the road after that, man. You had your evenings free. Very seldom was there a fight at night, and that was closed circuit stuff, event time.
Yep. Now they're 3-4 hours long. Those telecasts on Saturday nights. Different day. It's a different day.
Nigel Benz, sliding counter, said he remembers. Well, further we get Jeff Lucietta said nothing about it. Eddie Murphy talked about how Iran showed up at his house the night of the Tony fight. Everyone was shocked on how he looked. They were confused as to why he was there and not at a hospital. Yeah, that was a fight that, man, I just expected a war there. And I talked to James Toney not long ago on a show, bro, and I asked him about that, about the when Iran beat Darren Van Horn for the super middleweight title. Tony was at ringside, and Iran was getting his hand raised. Hey, shout out Picasso. Salute, brother. Barkley was getting his hand raised, and he had his family. Everybody was all smiles, and Tony was at ringside. He was the mandatory contender, the next contender. But anyway, he came up, and Iran was smiling. He thought Tony was going to shake his hand, and Tony's like, "Get your hand out of my face! I'm not here to congratulate you. I'm here to take that belt." And I never saw the stone face of Iran Barkley. Just kind of, it was a confused, almost fear. But man, like you said, Iran Barkley, and like my boy Jeff says, he had his face was a Halloween mask. You don't fuck with somebody like Iran Barkley, man. He was
no way.
The Blade. He was just tough as nails. He looked tough as nails.
Yeah, that James Toney fight was he put it on Barkley that night. I mean, James Toney was an amazing fighter, period, especially at 168. That guy was a beast. And I remember I thought the Barkley fight, I thought Barkley Toney was going to be entertaining. I thought Toney would win it, but Toney just, you talk about some ring IQ and skill. He took Barkley apart that night. Took him apart.
Yep. James Toney had a lot of nights there when he was just 100% on. But then he had a lot of nights when he didn't come in. He wasn't the actual James Toney, and it'll reflect in history upon how he's remembered. But man, I can remember those fights, the Barkley fight and the Juroff fight. Just some of the times where Tony just looks so damn good, and man, great fighter. Remy's extremely happy right now, man. Shout out to you, Remy.
Yeah, that's awesome, Remy.
We appreciate that you're sharing it with us over here, man. We do. And my brother Jeff Lacerda, Tony and Vasily Jurov, the Russian Tiger. Yep, it's a real classic.
My God. That 12th round, Emmanuel Stewart was going out of his mind. Someone needs to pull that fight up at home. Watch that 12th round. Freddie Roach tells Tony in between rounds, you got to put this guy on his ass. You have to put. And James Toney went out and did it. And Emmanuel Stewart was going crazy calling the fight for HBO because of the excitement. And that's a fun fight. That 12th round is a fun round to watch. James Toney was an amazing fighter. The fact that he went up to heavyweight and did what he did, but he didn't always come in the ring in the best shape, but he had such skills, and he was such his boxing IQ was just off the charts, and he could beat guys not even being in shape. He was that good where he didn't have to be in shape. Now you wish he would have been in shape, but James Toney was a great fighter. Slide and counter was there. Yeah, that was a great night. Yep. Manny was there calling it. Manny was going out of his mind. I mean, he was so caught up in the action because it was so captivating that he forgot he was an analyst, and he was calling that fight as a fan. He was so caught up in it. So Bruce, we got to figure out Tuesday night fights next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We got a week to figure it out, and we'll work on these. We'll try and get a nice smooth fight going. But yeah, we have to figure out what we're gonna do for the next Tuesday night fights.
I love chopping up these fights, man. It's so much fun. In fact, just now, Judge, when you were taking those questions out of the chat there, I was just sitting back and listening, man. Because man, you definitely have a wealth of experience to share, and I would appreciate if you took some of these questions. If you want to conk off now, no problem, bro. We've been here for 2 hours. I know I'm probably stepping on people's toes, but hey, that's the internet. G5 knows that, bro. We can't not put on a show because somebody else has one on. Somebody can always change the channel anytime they want.
It happens. It's so many content creators these days.
There really is.
Some people have certain time slots, and a lot of us share some of the same subscribers. So you at least try to let them get an hour and a half cooking, but it's not intentionally stepping on anybody's toes, but people gonna go to.
I know, bro. Some people just want to come on and put some jazz on, and just who wants to drop in and say hello. It's.
Yeah, but what I did learn though, even though it's a lot of content creators, people are gonna go tap into the live that fits what they want to hear at the current moment. So if they talking about a different type of conversation over there, they might not want to tune into that. So they're going to go straight. They click on yours or mine or yours. They're like, oh, I want to hear about this. And that's where they're going to go. Or they'll have multiple devices on, playing one and on the other. But, it's not a competition, but sometimes, people mindset and how they produce content is better than some. So, it happens, So that's why I usually just try to hold my mule at certain times, and then, then I just go, So.
Fact, no guilt. You can't have any guilt about it because there's always replay and everything else, and I mean, it's just fun to do, and to me, it's like a toy. You know, it's like a kid who found a new toy. I can get you to come on here. I can get my bro George to come on here. I can get a half a dozen people to listen to us out there. And man, you know, it's kind of like I was saying earlier. I wasn't a stay-at-home guy. I go to the bar. I'd spend $20 a night on draft beers and give the girls a drink, kind of a guy. But I like to talk about boxing, and especially if there was a fight on. And there was never anything like this. I mean, see the bloody old fights. It would have to be an HBO special, and they'd advertise it for 6 weeks in advance. And you know what I'm saying, George? And we can just hop on and do this with the magic of social media.
I love this. You're right, G5. There's a lot of content creators. Some of the content is not good, but the shows that we all watch, and they're all different topics, and there's so much passion and really good content, really good storytellers, really good quality shows. And that's something that I really enjoy, because as much bad stuff as there is out there, don't watch it. There's plenty of good stuff like UG5 and Bruce and so many other shows out there. It's as a boxing fan, you definitely, and you can pull up any fight on YouTube. So there's so much out there as a fan, and I love it.
I mean, you have so many choices. I mean, everybody has a different flavor or a different talking point or a different angle they like to cook up on their shows and stuff like that. And depending on what type of mood people in, they're gonna go to tap into what they're in the mood for.
Yep.
I just always try to be just a jack of all trades, whether it's talking about life, relationship. I just can't box myself in the way my mind is set up. Like, I drive myself crazy, explode, because I'm just talking about one thing, and I know it's much more that I could talk about or indulge in and stuff, things of that nature. So that's just me. Like, I can't box myself in with just one thing or one certain topic every day. It's like,
right,
I get burnt out because my mind's too diverse to just box myself in. So that's how I am.
That's why I changed my. I was Bruce Goes for years and years on YouTube, and then when I got my channel, I'm like, I'm not good enough to do boxing every show, but I have different interests, and I like to share them out there. I love the jazz, I love the wrestling, health and nutrition, bro. If it wasn't for health and nutrition, I wouldn't be here. Doing my thing, smoking my weed. I got to stay healthy. I drink a lot of water. I do a lot of cardio. I do as much resistance training as I can. But bro, I mean, the whole thing is we keep as healthy as we can, so we can keep other people around us, satisfied. But I love that, and I love fine weed, and I like to do different topics, all the time. But boxing is my one love. Boxing, it seems like I'll do 3 boxing shows, then I'll do something on wrestling or jazz or weed or nutrition. But man, there's just so many different topics we can talk about. G5, you're so right. More things than boxing, but bro, boxing is kind of like it's so unifying, and everything else does. I talked to Ray Mercer, on my buddy who has a nutrition channel. He's pretty much a trainer to the stars. If you want to use that term. Big Duke, bro. Exactly. He had Ray Mercer on there. And, he called me up right away and said, bro, you got to come on, because he doesn't know boxing. And, I pretty much, it should have been Ray Mercer on Bruce Goes' channel, because, Duke said, man, thank you for coming on. He was going to, what was your best fights? Any advice to the fighters today? Bro, I'm asking him, tell me about that Francisco Damiani fight when you were getting your ass kicked. And he's like, he was kicking the shit out of me, and I landed this right hand, and he was like smiling. You remember that? Yeah, bro, I remember that. And it was just so much fun. And that's a beautiful thing here, Georgia.
John Smith said, "If Bruce bongs, then I bong." That's a rule. That's a rule. So there you go.
Thank you, John Smith, bro. Thank you, man.
John
I,
McSmith. Yeah,
hey,
there you go.
if I'm nothing but a bad example, then so be it. I'll show you what not to be.
Oh,
So
I think he's saying that with respect.
I
Mm.
know he is, bro. I know he is, man. I know he is. In
And then
fact,
that's what
I
you got
get
your
so
younger
much of
brother
it. I
for,
get so much
Brucey.
of it on here. Go ahead, man.
Mhm.
I got to do a bong, so he'll do
That's,
one.
that's what you got your younger brother for, man. I'm here to keep you sharp, keep your toes on things that might be coming up the pipeline or going on that you might not see, and I get a chance to learn even more about certain stuff, or I knew fights, but to actually see them, or have you yourself, or either George, or either Con, or either a lot of these other good people that actually have the experience and know them like vivid. They still could see the fights and just recite them like their lyrics and stuff like that. Like, that's dope to me. I enjoy that. So they're like, man, he always kicking it with the OGs. I've been like this since I was a kid. So you learn the most. I'm a walking sponge. What I don't know, I'll learn. If I'm not too familiar with it, then I do research doing the show, and
Mhm.
then because I don't
Oh,
I, I don't like
I hear
being
you.
out of pocket at all. Like, I got to know something.
You know, I get calls from a lot of these cats, and man, I appreciate it so much. They'll have a boxer on, and they'll call me up, and hey, Bruce, come on, I'll get a link dropped, and man, I love talking to former boxers, but yet I got to go into my boxing rec to get the brain cells stimulated so I can remember their fights, because a lot of them are ESPN mid card fighters, and bro, they're coming back, and they're talking, you know they they're newer at this than they're
Right.
virgins on the internet, but yet I want to get some information because I remember them, but yet it's got to be rekindled a little bit because there's hundreds of boxes that man, George was in the business, he can tell you, and it's I think there's a little an art to remembering all these fighters on an individual basis, and it's hard to do, but you can do it. And I have to go back. I thank the internet for that. I'll get a call at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We're going to go on with Virgil Hill or with Everett Bigfoot Martin, and I'll just oh yeah, okay, no problem, man. I can swing that show. But that's that's been one of the things I'm really digging in here. And somebody says I'm the only guy that mixes jazz. No, Scrapbook does that, man. Go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing. Scrapbook does that way better than I do, man. He Scrap. I'm not the only one that does it. I'm a copycat, man. I'm copying my bro Scrapbook over there, man. Without YouTube, my boxing education would be severely limited. Mine too, brother. Mine too.
Has Scrapbook come on live before?
He was on a show called The Three Wise Men with him,
Oh, right.
the guy sitting over your shoulder, Curtis
Right. Yep.
Anderson,
Yep.
and Stormy B Man. And when Curtis died, you couldn't get another Wiseman to replace Curtis. But Scrapbook, very rarely. He said he was going to come on my show. I'm going to hold him to it, man. Scrapbook is.
I'm waiting for that. I'm
Oh,
waiting for him to come on.
he's my brother, man. I don't even know his number. I don't even know his email address. But I communicate with him in the chat rooms. He comes in mine. I always make a comment in his, and he gets back to me. And I feel very close to Scrapbook Boxing. It's almost an indescribable relationship, but it's in there for me. It's nailed into my being.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next to the next Tuesday night fights. I'm in. This is our second one. The show debuted last week, so this was show number 2. You got the three of us bringing you Tuesday night fights, just like they used to back in the day.
Absolutely. It's so much fun. Right now I'm sitting over here and I can hear the wind howling over here in New England. I swear there's right now 50-mile-an-hour gusts going on, and the house is shaking, man. The houses are rocking, and I'm a rocking with it, man. It's just great to get on here and enjoy the Toker too, man. getting some good news out there, man. My brother Remy had some great news to bestow upon us, man. You know, with me, it's like every time my phone rings when it's late, who's dead?
Mm.
You know, some people they kind of like telling you, and they like kind of breaking that news. You know, it's funny because usually the people, it'll always be the same one that call. Oh, you'll never guess who died. Okay, tell me. Oh shit, you know, another one. But when I hear the birth of somebody, you know, that's cool on a whole different level, bro.
And hey, look, when we come on to do Tuesday Night Fights, this is all about fun. This is all about happiness and celebration.
It is, man.
And
it is.
That's what it is. That's what this is.
Mhm.
Yep, Mercer said that Tommy Morrison was hitting him so hard that I asked him point blank. He just bit down, and he was pissed because he was getting, as the defending champion, he was getting less money than Tommy Morrison. And Ray had he had an attitude, bro. Ray Mercer is a guy like James Toney, same cloth. In fact, somebody even asked my buddy Duke asked Ray Mercer because Ray was talking up, man. He's a talker. He said, "Can anybody out talk you, Ray? Is there anybody?" And he said that Ray just kind of James Toney.
You know, that Tommy Morrison fight, I remember Morrison had a lot of success early in that fight. But Tommy Morrison looked like he was, some fighters, he looked so tight and he threw his shots so hard and it looked like he was expending so much energy. And Ray Mercer just caught the shots and came back and did what he did. But he used so much energy. And when I watched Amir Khan and Kell Brook over the weekend, Amir Khan looked the same way. He expended so much energy and didn't really do much. And then, he ended up getting knocked out. But did you guys see that? Did you see the Khan Brook fight?
Yes, I did, man. Yes, I did. And it's like every time Khan got hit with it's like every time the wind blew his direction, his knees started to wobble. It was,
funny.
Hey, man, you guys made your money. We're not going to talk about the fight after next week.
But
It's definitely not going to go in the halls of what we just saw some great stoppages, and it's not going to go anywhere near those. They're not going to be showing that fight in 20 years on.
But boxing's a funny sport because that fight didn't mean too much here, but it sold out over there in 10 minutes. Big grudge match in the UK. I wouldn't be surprised if Kell Brook gets a big fight from winning that. Maybe not a title fight, but this is going back in 97. Hector Camacho was 40. Hector Camacho was 34 years old. Fought Sugar Ray Leonard, who was 40, was coming back again. And Camacho knocked out Leonard in 5 rounds. Camacho's next fight was a welterweight title shot against the Golden Boy. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. So, he parlayed that Sugar Ray Leonard fight. It was a fight that meant nothing, but he parlayed that into a title shot. So, look, I would like to see Kell Brook fight Keith Thurman. I don't think Kell Brook should waste time with these young guys, these young Brits, although he might get good money for that. Let him fight Keith Thurman. Let Keith Thurman fight him. Amir Khan should call it a career.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Thurman versus Brook.
I'm interested in that fight because I think Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman's not one time anymore. He's not one time anymore. He's still got some skill, but he hasn't looked good in 5 or 6 years. So, but you're right. Not like these fights. Not like these fights we saw tonight.
No.
Cue the God.
I feel that the fighters is way different too. Like, man, just different.
Well, I'll tell you, man. I didn't finish what I was saying before, but I would say, well, if I in Britain, like you just saying, George, I was going to say the same thing. 20,000 sold out as soon as the tickets were announced.
Crazy.
They took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now the way boxing is, a victory, and the fans will take you seriously. You know, as long as you just improve on your competition, you can fight a washed out Amir Khan. You're visible now. People are talking about you. They're saying, "Well, he was a washed out anybody," but you fought. It's more than these other guys are doing right now, especially in the welterweight division. So now you can say, give me Keith Thurman, give me Adrian Broner, and people will take you seriously. And I hope Amir Khan made a nice chunk of change because there's no fun for boxers, man. They don't get a weekly check when they retire, and I hope this was a swan song. I certainly don't want to see him fight again. But Kell Brooks, like you said, man, don't mess around with with a boring fight. Don't somebody we haven't heard of. I'm not going to mention names because I'll offend some of my brothers over in the UK. But go challenge some of these fringe contenders. And hey, man, a gatekeeper makes a lot of money these days in boxing. And anybody can win any fight at any time. How many times have we all said that? And how many times have we seen that? So, Brooks, do what you got to do, bro. You go ahead. Finish off. We got Andy Gannigan. Yeah, Andy Gannigan was a they call him the Hawaiian Punch, man. And like you said, he finished off O'Grady. Oh, Jesus. Hey, man, I ain't got no super chats or no PayPal or anything like that. So just down what you want, smoke what you want. Put the money in your own weed fund right now, bro. Donate it. Give the bum down the corner a few bucks. I don't care what color he is or what, fucking, it'll make his day. That'll be my super chat, Remy. Salute to you, brother. Morrison looked. Oh, in the early goings of that fight, I thought Tommy Morrison was going to make short work of Ray Mercer. I didn't realize the chin that Ray Mercer had. And bro, in Ray Mercer's next fight, he fought Larry Holmes. You guys remember that fight, man? That was everybody thought Mercer was going to do what he did to Tommy Morrison to Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes kicked his ass.
Even said, got in the corner, put his hands down and said, "Come on, I'm not Tommy Morrison."
That's the fight. Ray Mercer got in trouble because he was, I feel, I would have to read up on it, but I think he was asking Larry to lay down, or he was trying
No. That was
that wasn't that fight?
No, that wasn't that fight. That was Jesse Ferguson.
That was Ferguson, huh?
You're
right.
He was caught at ringside. A microphone picked it up. He was promised a multi-million-dollar fight with Riddick Bowe.
That's right.
Ferguson. He came in out of shape, and I'll give you $100,000 if you take a dive. And it went for. I mean, Congress was involved. It was a big thing. They had the rematch. Oh yeah, that was. And I never got a chance to ask Ray. He mentioned something quickly about that, but I mean, it was so many things to ask him, and that would have been a great question. If I can ever get him back, I'll find out about that because Mercer was friendly guy. We were joking around at the end. You guys were great interviews, and damn. And I haven't heard Ray on any other shows before. That was just like I said, my buddy Duke, Big Duke, trains the stars, so he got Ray Mercer on there, and I haven't seen Ray on any news. I'm not going to call us news conferences, but any interviews, and I don't even interview people. I get them up here, George. I want to pass them to Toker, and do you talk between puffs? And that's the way we do it over here, man.
Man, I do remember that was Holmes' last great fight, and I think after that he got a shot against Evander Holyfield. I might be wrong, but I think
you're 100, man.
After that fight, he fought Holyfield, and gave Holyfield a good fight. And I remember, you know what I remember about that fight, Bruce?
Don't tell me. You're gonna tell me at the end of the fight?
Yes. Yes. Larry Holmes throwing up as the bell sounded. It's crazy. You have to YouTube that 12th round of Holmes and Holyfield. Oh my God. They showed slow motion, just how he held that in until the final bell. and he's just oh my God.
Oh Christ.
Oh man. But he gave Holyfield a good fight. And Larry Holmes was he a great fighter. He was a great fighter. Oh, but yeah,
He
you
was,
remember the
man.
same thing, Bruce, that 12th round. And they had to show slow-mos of that too.
Oh.
Like, really, you have to show that? Come on.
I remember when it happened, and I was like, "Did that just happen?
Oh,
Did Larry?"
I
Just
thought the
throw up?
same thing.
Oh man, but Larry Holmes, what a great, especially when you look back at his career. When you were living through it, I mentioned earlier I was always rooting for the underdog, and Larry, and almost all Larry Holmes' defenses, I was rooting for the underdog, but Larry, he always proved me wrong. And I thought Ernie Shavers was going to knock him cold. When Ernie Shavers knocked him down, wow! When all those Snipes knocked him down, but Larry, and when Tim Witherspoon stunned him in the ninth round, but
Yeah,
Larry
he was a
always
great
came
fighter.
back. A great fighter. Mike Weaver. Oh man. And he made easy work of guys like Bone Crusher Smith in their prime, and David Bay in their prime. I mean, Larry was just so good, but Larry was a nasty bastard. I mean, he wouldn't give you an interview for free if he just hit the lottery
Yeah.
the night before, God bless Larry Holmes, man. What a great guy. That's like a character in boxing that you can look back on with such fond memories. And man, he walked the walk, he talked the talk, and he walked the walk, and he always won. Sometimes it wasn't pretty, but just so much talent. I mean, he trained with Ali and with Joe Frazier, and he just kept the best of all these fighters. Jelly Bean, thank you for coming in, brother. Jelly Bean, anybody who's running around on a Friday night, go sub to Jelly Bean. He has Fights and Smoke over there, man. Man after my own heart. So.
You know what I had to just do? I just watched the I just watched the 12th round, the end of Holmes and Holyfield, and saw that shot of Larry Holmes throwing up against Holyfield. I tried to share the screen, but I couldn't share. It says my Chrome, it wouldn't let me share. I was trying, so
All right, let me see if I can find it so we don't leave everybody gasping out there. Keep it going, bro. Keep it going, George. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up.
Yeah, he called Earl, man. But yeah, it's hard to hold in throw up. So
and the fact that he did it, because he was holding it because he didn't want to do it during the fight, and as soon as that 12th round was over, it just came spilling out of him.
He came out like the movie Mafia.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know. It's so this week Josh Taylor's got a fight.
Gary Antoine, he fights.
Chris Colbert has a fight. But not a huge week coming up. But there's some good fights in March and there's some good fights in April. I got tickets because I live in Connecticut. I got tickets to the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight.
Oh man, yes, Lord.
April 30th, and that's a great night because Shakur Stevenson is fighting Oscar Valdez, and I'm from Jersey, so I think Shakur, he's going to put on a show that night.
Oh,
I'm a Shakur fan. I think he's going to win that fight. But that's a great night for boxing. Those two fights.
Shakur is the goods, man.
He is.
He is the goods.
He is, and I think I feel like he's the type of guy that he fights even better when the competition is good.
Better.
So because he took Jamal Herring apart. He took him apart in that fight. So April 30th, that is a big night of boxing, but I will be in the Garden. I'll be rooting for Amanda Serrano. And that, Bob Arum says that people don't care about that fight because it's a woman's fight. The Garden is almost sold out. It's almost sold out. So
they got to put some respect on the women's, man. The women right now are doing good work and giving us something they want to see.
It's
that we
the
want to see as
strongest,
boxing fans.
It's the strongest it's ever been. Clarissa Shields, she's gonna hopefully fight Savannah Marshall, who was the only person to beat her in the amateurs. And Clarissa, I think Clarissa is gonna put it on her too. But I can't wait to see it. I can't. There's some they're getting some depth. It doesn't have the depth that the men's game has because it's been around so much longer. But there's some good fight, like Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. They're good fighters, period. Not good female fighters. They're good fighters. Good fighters.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. And it's you have some even upcoming fighters or people, there might be in their mid-30s who just getting their career back on track, and then you see them fight like the Jonas woman. Yeah, she can fight.
Right, she can.
And she's 36, 37.
It's crazy. Like Jessica McCaskill. She's like 35 or 30. She's like in her 30s. So
yeah, she's 37. Like, wow. That's crazy, George. 37 and like 12 fights in, 13 fights in. People, a lot of people that started early, they have 12, 13 fights and they're still in their 20s.
Right.
Early. And then it's another young one, Jamie, the Miracle Mitchell. She can fight too. I like her too.
There's some really good fighters and some good fights that can be made. So, the women's game is really, it's never been this strong, and it's only going to get better as more athletes get into the sport younger. And there's more depth. It's only going to get better.
And I'm like really like proud and happy for especially Serrano and Shields because their popularity, they're gonna be the ones who persuade other young women to want to get into the sport of boxing.
Right.
Just because I guess their personality,
G5, are you watching this? He's got it on screen. Now watch. So the bell just look loud. The bell just watch. Here it comes.
He holding it. There it goes.
And that's such a bad angle.
I've seen better.
Yeah. I couldn't find a good angle, but. Like
when he's in the center ring walking, you can see like his jaws kind of bracing it, like he was trying to catch it. Like when you had too much to drink and that throw will wake you up out your sleep, and you like, oh my god, I gotta go. And yeah, it was one of those. You can tell he had that face like I'm calling Earl face, like ugh.
But I had never seen that before in a fight. Never have I seen that before.
Right.
That was crazy.
And you see plenty of fights.
I give him credit. Holmes.
No, but once again, that's just one of the funny moments of Larry Holmes. Larry had a bunch of them, but Larry, the great heavyweight. I mean, during back in the late 70s and early 80s, Larry never had he was never unified, never undisputed. In fact, he never even had the WBA championship for all those years.
Right.
The WBA called how many different fighters the champ? When Larry Holmes was the fighters that Larry Holmes beat, they just wouldn't recognize Larry Holmes. Larry wouldn't pay the sanctioning fee. He wouldn't abide by the Gilberto Mendoza's rules. And Don King and the WBC were pretty much Larry Holmes' mouthpiece back then. It made a mockery of. I haven't paid attention to those organizations since back then. And that was what almost 50 years ago, bro. 40 plus.
You know, Bruce, another crazy moment from Larry Holmes's career, well, outside of the ring. Have you guys ever seen when he jumped off of a car and
Oh,
kicked
Trevor
Trevor
Burbick.
Burbick?
Yeah, yeah,
And for
yeah.
people that don't know, Trevor Burbick and Larry Holmes fought. Trevor Burbick went the distance with Larry Holmes. Trevor Burbick was a good heavyweight, was a heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson beat him for
Steve.
his title, but Trevor Burbick was not a very liked fighter. And yes, sees Holmes jumping off that car, drop kicking Trevor Burbick. That was
Yeah, shout out to
amazing.
Steve. Thanks for coming in here, man.
That was amazing to see. I mean, like, and Trevor Burbick just saying, Larry Holmes kicked me. And I mean, Larry Holmes drop kicking, jumping off a car, the former heavyweight champion of the world, jumping off a car and drop kicking Trevor Burbick. That's one of Holmes's most memorable moments outside of the ring.
Yep, like John McSmith is saying about Larry Holmes. Larry was the IBF, but before that, Larry was WBC,
Well, he
and
gave up his belt. He didn't want to fight Greg
mandated he
Page.
fight Greg Page.
Yeah.
And and Witherspoon fought Page instead for the vacant. Witherspoon finally won his first title, but yeah, Larry Holmes didn't. He said, all those trinkets they're just pains in the asses. I can't remember the exact quote, but he had a classic line, and the IBF pretty much had to beg Larry to take their title. That gave it made their title valid. It was the same way with Marvin Hagler. They bestowed that upon him. They weren't idiots like the WBA, bro. They knew they knew who the number one man at heavyweight was, and they weren't going to give it to somebody like like David Bay or Coetzee or whoever. Man, Larry Holmes was the man. And it made the IBF, people stood up and took notice, man. Hey, the IBF's a pretty cool organization, bro. Look, they got Hagler, they got Larry Holmes, and and the trickle down effect. But man, yeah, you can't. Anybody who knew boxing back then knows what I'm talking about. Larry Holmes was he was a character, and Trevor Burbick. You're talking about him, George, man, and Gabe. You guys ever look into the personal life of Trevor Burbick, man? The way he died.
Oh man, brutal. A brutal death. By someone in his family.
His nephew beat him over the head with a steel pipe, a crowbar, and in front of a church, and just really eerie stuff. And Trevor had a dark side. He had paid. He just had out-of-court settlements with babysitters, and women in the neighborhood. He was a cuckoo clock, man. Claimed he was a man of God. Boxing is full of them, full of crazy shit like that.
He had a pretty brutal demise, but he's remembered in history because Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion of all time when he knocked him out.
And that was a knockout, bro. That was the one punch that knocked Mike Tyson down. Excuse me, that Mike Tyson knocked Trevor Burbick down with 5 times. Was it? Just kept getting up.
Well, it was down. Between 3 and 5. It was a lot. It was a lot of knockdowns for one shot. He caught him right on the temple. I think with a left hook, right on the temple, and man.
It was a quick ending, but Burbick, he beat Pinklin Thomas, who I had a lot of respect for.
Yeah, Pinklin was supposed to be the man. Pinklin was supposed to be the guy that took over after Larry, and you're right. Burbick beat him, huge upset, and then Burbick got Tyson in the ring.
Funky stuff. George, I'm starting to yawn over here, man. I hate to say it, but you've got me with a TKO over here, bro. My dog is looking at me. Yep. I'm raising your hand over here tonight.
I'll take it.
All right, man.
No, it is great, man.
My brother. Nothing but love to you, man. Tell them where you're going later on, because I know you're going to be doing a live over here, bro. I just have to stretch the legs, get something to drink, clean out the bong. Do the stuff I can't do online. But, tell us where you're going, G.
Where I'm going, let's see. I'll probably do a live.
And whatever, bro. I'm babbling at this point.
Yeah, man, I'm over here multitasking as usual. While we over here talking, I'm over here sweeping up all my kids' junk they got all over my floor. Chips and crumbs. I hate walking and you crunching on stuff. I'm like,
But you know
God,
what?
yes.
You start letting them do that. That's when let them do the work for the mess they make.
Oh yeah, yeah. Usually they will be doing it, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, I'm done. Look, Daddy, I'm done now. Let me look." Nah, not yet, but it's all good for us tonight. But tonight, I might go after we get off here. I go tap back in the Stormy B Man. I had tapped in while we was live. Salute everybody or whatever. Probably do a little live. Um, that's if I don't get too tired, man. Because once I get to a certain mode, even if I'm up, if my body is out of there, man, yeah, I'm not going live. I already know that, but I most likely might go ahead and do one more for the day, and I'll be good. But usually, I like sometimes I don't need even go because it's like I've been cooking with my brothers so long, and from live to live, if I'm on the panel, it's like, okay, that's my fix for the day. I could go
Yeah.
live, but you know, I just it's already been marinated, so it's like no need to go.
Right.
So um, I may go. If not, they don't know where to find me. If you haven't subbed, you can easily click my name, click on the link. Before you want to sub, you can go check out some content. But I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna want to sub. So um, y'all find me G5_Gabe, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm always around. Me and Bruce has been rocking for a while. He was just Bruce Goes then when I first met him. Not the extendo Brucey that we got now with
Mm-hmm.
all the different layers like an onion now. So
Yep.
You know that,
Yep.
bro. And you know,
yeah.
G5, you said something the other day, and because I know I see you going everywhere, bro, and it's almost like your show when I see you on there. I see the red, and I see the blue hat, and my brother G5's on here, and you were saying, man, that's how we get our brand out there.
Mm-hmm.
We go out and we get invited on these other panels, and yeah, man, jump right on if you have something to say. Because I mean, it's only the internet, bro. Any
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. And we show people what we're about, and then I come over here, and man, I've been babbling for almost 3 hours. We still got a dozen people out there, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man, because man, it's been so positive. We had a couple of nuts in here earlier, but that's why you guys are out there to slap them down. I can't be looking at YouTube and StreamYard. But man, G5, you're so right. And you don't have to, when you're in somebody else's channel, you don't have to look for all that crazy shit. But man, I saw you last night in Divine Sense, and a guy that's always on G Money's channel in there. And you guys weren't arguing. You were talking common sense, respectful. Stormy B Man was in there, and I'm saying, man, this is what it's all about. All sides of the argument, yeah, but, and man, it was just respectful, and man, that's where we keep it over here. And hey, bro, I just want to acknowledge, man, things you say, they stick in every once in a while.
And I appreciate it, man. Like I tell you, I'm just here to, enlighten, inspire, and what I'm saying, hope.
and,
The
and,
stuff
and
that
have a
we
good
do talk
time, bro.
about, that too. I'm always gonna do that. That goes without even being said. I can joke, I can have fun, but at the same time, it's about bridging the gap. You know what I'm saying? In life, no matter what color you are, if you rock with me and I rock with you, then I'm not worried about what color you are, because you showing me some solidarity and realness. So I have nothing but respect for it. So um
And,
yeah, I
and,
get a
and we
lot of
hear all
invites,
sides.
man.
We hear
Get a
all
lot of
sides
invites.
of
Right.
the
Hmm.
we hear all sides of different fights. We get all angles. We get fans from
Hmm.
one side of the corner, fans from another side. We can make up our own opinions, and we can talk about it. And then hey, if you want to argue a little bit, we can argue about it. But it's all so much fun to me. That's what I love about this, man. It's just it's it it's like going to the bar and just talking to my brothers at the bar, having a few. I don't drink anymore, so I have a few tokes, and we talk
Mhm.
boxing. And I hear from UG5, man, shit that I couldn't get anywhere, man. All different perspectives. And and then with George, bro, I mean, shit, stuff from HBO. I used to watch it, and now that I'm listening to the producer tell me what was really going on there, man. It's just
Right.
it's awesome shit, man. And
That's how
like
it
I
should
said, man,
be.
it is, man. I'm thankful for it. And George, you want any last words before I throw you
Well,
back?
yeah. The thing, and this is me just this is like my minute on the soapbox, but it goes from politics all the way down to boxing. There's a lot of ignorance out there, and people feel like if you have a different opinion from them, they'll attack you.
Mhm.
What happened to listening to other people's opinions, even if you disagree, but hearing them out? You might not change their mind, but you might get a different perspective, and they might not change your mind. There's so much ignorance in just the world. It's nice to have places you can go where you can have a difference of opinion and not get attacked for it, and respect the other person's opinion. That's what on a lot of these shows, and not you guys, but I mean, people are just looking to attack. And if you don't fall in line with what the theme is of the show, you're attacked. And that's why I like listening to you guys, because it's not like that. We can talk and have a good time, and that's why I like to do these shows. That's it for me.
That's why
So
you're
long
one of
and
my
good night.
friends, George, man. That thank you so much for coming in, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. I'll be talking to you again soon.
Yes,
You're not
sir.
gonna hide from me, man. I got your number, so I'll,
Yes,
I'll, I'll
sir.
see you, my brother.
Yes, sir. G5, I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Brucey, text with my number. I forgot to
Yes.
tell you that.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Give him.
absolutely. So,
Mhm.
as soon as we close down, it's the first thing I'm gonna do, bro.
Hey,
Everybody out there,
G5.
Hmm?
Bruce, as soon as you give me his number, I'm just gonna start texting him like every night, all through the night, like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just prank calling him. I can't wait to get his number.
watch out!
Great.
It'll put you on blast, bro. Watch out, man.
Hey, well, yeah, it's I have a light switch. I'm a very even kill dude. I don't. I usually don't look for the trolls. I just try to,
Yeah.
or people that when they try to antagonize you, because I'm a good joker and I got a lot of good jokes. So it's like, if like I tell people, y'all want to joke with me? Do
Right.
y'all know I got kicked out of class for this? Like, this is something that comes natural. It's easy.
Right.
So I had did a live early, and people come in trying to troll and try to throw you off or whatever like that. So me in the chat just had a little fun with them, a quick little roast, and then they left. So I mean, it is what it is, man. But I enjoy the knowledge. I enjoy even the chat, always being interactive with the questions, and with the host, of course, Bruce, and the co-host of us being on here, and it's just a good time, man. This is an
Yeah.
outlet for me,
Yep.
just to get away from the normal life that you have, and just to kind of release. What I'm
Right.
saying, like a free spot. You have kids, you have a lot of time slots, as I call it. If you
Yep.
don't get certain stuff done within that time frame, then
You're in
you
trouble.
might not get it done.
Yep.
You got work life. Some people married, or significant others, whatever the case might be. So, it's just always a, honor, the blessing. I always tell Bruce, yeah, we good, but man, it's always appreciation. I don't care if we been good for 10 years. Anytime I come up here, it's always going to be the same energy, man. I appreciate the invite. It's all about respect, so, man, appreciate you guys, man. Brucey, you
You always,
already know my brother.
Get some rest.
you always class up my joint, G5.
Oh yeah, I'm coming. You send me an invite. You know me, I don't like a lot of background noise. So if I have to be 20 minutes late to finish what I'm doing,
It's
then
all
I'll
right,
do that.
bro. It's all right, bro. Yeah. You know, I don't like dropping links in the panel because we saw there was trolls in here earlier, man. And they come on, they show these dick pics and all this other shit, and bro, I mean, I've been sending out links lately, and man, you don't know how grateful I am that you two cats came on here, and with me, man, this is this is something where it's really keeping me sane because I'm dealing with other people differently now because I come on here and I talk to you guys. I kind of I'm looking at myself talking to you guys, so I'm improving myself in real life, and personal situations. I kind of know I know what I sound like and where I come from, and it's me. But yet constantly day by day, if I can improve myself a little bit every day, that's my goal in life. I'm not trying to accumulate anything materialistic, man. I'm not after women. I wanna just improve my life, and if I can do it, you guys help me do it. If it wasn't for you guys, my life would probably be going for the worst. I go out there, I see people now, I see them in a different light. It's I really, man, I do a lot of smiling, and man, man, God bless you. You have a great day, and a lot of it, all of it, it's rooted to since I retired. I watch TV all day. I talk to my wife. I get sick of her. We'd argue. Now, man, I come on here, and it's especially now we couldn't go out before. Now
Right.
gas is like $5 a gallon, so we can't afford to go out. And bro, I went shopping the other day, and I looked at the price of. I'm like, damn, we can't afford to go to restaurants anymore. We're paying $20 for a steak at the Stop and Shop. Can you imagine what we pay for that down at the Ruth Chris right now, man? We have to take a loan out to go out to dinner. But anyway, man, this is cool, and this is just a different way of life for me. And I'm gonna end it all, man. I'm gonna end it all just by thanking everybody who came out here, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming out here. You guys, man, you had a million places to go. It's been active. Everybody's been contributing. All good stuff, man. Just it's been a great way for me to pass my evening, man. I can't thank you enough. And like G5 is saying, I was on tonight a couple of days ago, but even yesterday I was on D Styles for a couple of hours, and man, so much gratitude there, and I get so many. It's making my head swell. People, oh, Bruce Goldman, the OG, the legend, man, man. It's like, bro, you guys are kind of giving me inspiration. You're making me really want to do this, get a little more professional, clean up the language. I'm never going to put the bong down. That's part of me, bro.
That's your show, man. That's you.
Hey. It's respectful, Brucey.
Sometimes my brothers, my flesh brothers, and my sister. Oh man, you spoke to that bong all the time. My cousin, man, you're into health. What are you? That's gonna do in your lungs, bro. That's my medication, man. That's a whole nother show. We're not gonna even.
That
talk
is a
about,
whole other
I
show.
can make you some brownies. You want to talk about the smoking, this and that. But I like THC. I put down several pharmaceuticals that I think will be ultimately detrimental to my health. And I don't drink alcohol. I don't use caffeine. I don't take any mind-altering substances except marijuana, if you want to call it that. And it relaxes me. I have stage 4 arthritis. Man, I get aches and pains in places I didn't even know I had places. And it makes me forget about them. It doesn't relieve the pain. It just makes I don't think about it. I get involved in boxing with you guys, and man, I go back to those days, and there's nothing like it for an old cat like myself, man. It's heaven, man. It's heaven on earth, and I'm going to end it by thanking you and thanking the family for being here, man.
Absolutely.
Great night. We're going to do it again next Tuesday, God willing, man. I got G5 and I got George. Maybe Mad Chad will come in. Maybe Blood. Maybe Trick Nolte. It's a family over here, man. And you guys, you see my email. You see my Twitter down there. Let me know if you want to come do a show, bro. We can talk about the things that I can match you a little bit for is, boxing for sure, but wrestling, jazz, health and nutrition, and fine weed. So, hit me up and, give me a topic, and, we'll chop it up on me, brother. The drinks will be on me. So anyways, guys, I'm going to cut out. I can't say another word to you because I'll sound like a fucking simp over here. So,
not cool, Brucey.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, we not
all right, guys. It's closing time. Like I used to say in the bar, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I got a birthday coming up soon, about a week and a half.
Oh,
yeah.
Bro. Birthday
it's
party
on March 5th.
man.
I think that's
I believe in really
Zayas
celebrating
card.
those birthdays today. I really do. You know, when you have a birthday, that's your day. Especially at man, damn, way more birthdays in the rearview mirror than are in the fucking on the highway for me, bro. So man, I appreciate everyone, and every time I can celebrate it with one of my brothers out here, man. You know, whatever I can, any way I can celebrate it with you, I'm going to do it with you, bro. So,
Hey,
man,
G5,
Abe,
I think we could get Bruce talking for another hour if we try.
you,
I
know
I guarantee you, if we could do that
I
for
have
another
no
hour.
more water.
Yes, we can finesse him
The
that way.
bong is dirty. I have no
Yeah,
more water.
next Saturday, man, I'll be 34 years young, man.
Oh man,
So,
happy birthday, bro.
yeah,
Salute, G5, you're half my age, brother.
I know, man. I know. It's like, where did G5 come from? I was born on March 5th, you know. I'm a Pisces man, you know.
March
So
5th?
yes, sir.
March 5th. You know, March 5th, that's a day to celebrate, bro, for sure, man. George, I'll see you later, brother.
Yes, sir, guys.
Bruce,
I look
next
forward to
time,
it.
my man.
For
Yeah.
sure,
All right,
bro.
guys.
For sure.
All right, George, appreciate
As soon
it.
as I get off,
Great show,
as soon as I
man.
get off here, I got my phone. I'm gonna email your number to. I'm gonna text your number to my brother G5. Not forgetting it all. So, guys, man, thank you so much. I'm not a multitasker.
All right,
I need
Bruce.
a drink. I need to let the dog out. I've been having man. You're right, George. I could talk for another hour, bro. The way I feel right now, I'm wound up. But man, I'm leaving here with a smile on my face and gratitude in my heart, man. So shout out to everybody, man. I'm out of here, man.
All right,
Love.
good night.
Peace.